Good evening, everyone. I will now call to order the December 18, 2025 Board of Education meeting. We acknowledge the traditional and ancestral unceded territory of Chumash-Tangwa, Fernandes, Tatwam, and the First Nation on which we are learning, educating, and living. Can I have Mr. Vladimir Hovanesyan from Burbank High School lead us in a Pledge of Allegiance?
Hello, everybody. Let's begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much.
All right. So reporting on closed session. And item 3A, student on the motion on the case of student number 9600297881. And there was a motion made by Board Member Olson, seconded by Board Member Camco. Oh, can we have roll call, please, Ms. Quintero?
Member Olson?
Present.
Member Cano?
Present.
Clerk Weisberg?
Present.
Vice President Ponser Kamkar?
Present.
President Agakanian?
Present, we have 5 members, we have quorum. Now reporting on closed session. So regarding item 3A, student 9600297881, there was a motion by Member Olson, seconded by Vice President Kamkar. The board, upon the board review in closed session, submitted the District Transfer Review Committee. The board accepts the recommendation to readmit student 9600297881 based on the completion of the rehabilitation plan per expulsion. We had 5 ayes. Oh, thank you. Correction, this was, for the record, this was 3D, and the second one is also 3D, and the other one is 3A. Thank you. That's okay. On student case 9600410079, we had a motion by Board Member Olson, seconded by Board Member Kano. Based upon the board's review, the closed session, and the findings, the board accepts the recommendation of the administrative hearing panel of suspended enforced expulsion of student 9600410079 based on Education Code 48900 and 48915. We had 4 ayes and 1 abstention by Board Member Kamkar. And regarding case 3A, right? No, 3D. That one's 3D. 3D, this was student 9600297881. Hold on, no, wait. Oh, there it is. Yep. So that's 3A, D. Too many D's and A's here. 3D, this regarding student 960034057058, Motion made by Vice President Kamkar, seconded by Board Member Kano. Based upon the board's review and closed session, the board accepts the recommendation to readmit student 96003458 based on the completion of the rehabilitation plan per expulsion. 5 ayes. The motion passed unanimously. There was no other items on the closed session to report on. 6 adjustments to the agenda. Vice President Kamkar.
I have a couple. Let it be known, we had a bit of a technical issue in publishing our agenda this week, so we had to publish a draft version, so we have a couple of changes. Number 10, the organization should go after 11. We will not need 10D, the seating of board members, thankfully. And then we will also not need 17 or 18.
You're also adding public communications after 9C, correct?
We're just moving it. So we'll do,
And then
we'll
delete-
do 9. We'll do 9 reports from the board and staff, and then we'll go straight to 11, requests to address the board. And then after 11, we'll go back to 10, the organization.
Okay.
Does that work?
All right. Any items for future agenda?
I think maybe one other adjustment.
Dr. Alkani, we're going to pull item 13B. 13B.
Okay. Anything else? And we also moving acceptance of gifts after 13P. And deleting section 12, right?
Yes, I believe so.
All right.
No
anything
additional
else?
reports? Okay.
That's correct.
Yes. Any other? Yeah. Any items for future agendas? Dr. Weisberg.
I can't use this. I would love to just get an update, which I think could probably come in superintendent's comments next time, just about the the changes to the Brown Act that were just signed into law by Governor Newsom, just so we can share with the public. In reading them, most of them we're already doing, but it would just be a great opportunity to share what changes there have been, because there have been quite a few. I also just wanted to ask for an update, and I don't know if this is going to be a new agenda item or whatever, when we can expect some of the reports that we have pulled and need to bring back. So our sped control, our DEI teacher leaders, the budget allotment to school board in regards to conferences, how much money that's how much that is allocated, and also to when we can expect to get back a Burbank Arts for All plan that has metrics and clearer goals.
All right. Anything else? All right.
Just those things.
Thank you. It's end of the year. Now we're going to item 8, presentations and recognitions. We have our holiday music presentation, Luther Burbank Middle School Spotlight. Yeah, let's hear it, everyone. Choir is here, Dr. Macias.
Yes,
Please.
I want to welcome Luther Burbank Middle School, my former home. I appreciate the Yellow Jacket Nation being here, and Mr. Anthony Redmond, choir director, and our wonderful choir kids who will share some songs for us tonight.
Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays to you. Cha-cha-cha.
I know you're leaving, but we do also want to thank Mr. Redmond, the director. Oh, sorry. We should by the way, we should record this and have it for sale because we can just play all the songs in one song for the holiday, right? I loved it. I loved the compilation.
Thank you, Luther
Bye,
families.
everyone, and enjoy your holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Great job raising great singers and good kids.
All right, where are we? All right, we're going to reports now? Yeah. All right, so who do we have from? Okay, now we're at item 9, reports from the board and staff, student representatives. Who do we? We have. Yes. Yeah. Callie what?
Burrows.
Callie, you want Callie from Burroughs? Come up. Yeah, introduce yourself again. Yay.
Welcome, Callie.
Yeah, but yeah,
Hello and good evening, President Dr. Agakanian, distinguished board members, Superintendent Dr. Macias, district staff, and members of the Burbank community. My name is Callie Brooke Myers, the Burroughs ASB Vice President. Haley could not be here today, so I'll be sharing my report for John Burroughs High School as of December 18, 2025. Starting with ASB news, as we would like to congratulate Ms. Reyes for winning our annual holiday door decorating contest. Her 4th period class helped create a very intricate, creative, and decorative Santa-themed door. Despite an intense week of finals, our sports teams are in full swing. Our soccer programs are looking strong, with the boys having a successful game against Granada Hills, while the girls just secured a win to Sierra Canyon. Our water polo athletes recently transitioned from a competitive boys' fall season to an exciting winter start for our girls' varsity team, which has already secured their first league game against Pasadena and impressive earlier wins against Glendale, Chino Hills, and La Cañada. Meanwhile, on the court, basketball has secured many wins and is gearing up for more matches. Our girls team is preparing for La Salle Showcase this Saturday, followed by our boys competing in the Pacific Showcase next week. Lastly, on behalf of John Burroughs High School, we would like to wish the board a happy holiday filled with joy, love, and most of all, a well-deserved relaxation. We look forward to seeing everyone back and refreshed in the new year. We have no major concerns to share at the moment. Thank you. I can take any questions or clarifications.
Callie, I do want to thank you. I know that it's holiday season, and here you are tonight reporting, so thank you very much, and happy holidays to you and your family as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
B, reports from BTA. I believe Sarah is here. Sarah Schwartz, come on up.
All right. Good evening, community members, members of the Board of Education, and fellow BUSD employees. My name is Sarah Schwartz, and I am a Burbank teacher, a BUSD parent, and the president of the Burbank Teachers Association, representing over 700 teachers, counselors, nurses, and speech and language pathologists in BUSD. First, I'd like to wish our entire school community a restful winter recess. Whether you celebrate Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, or just take the time to be with family and friends, I hope this time brings everyone an opportunity for joy, renewal, and connection. I hope we can come back stronger and doubly committed to the important work of supporting our students and improving our school district in the new year. Second, I'd like to speak about Agenda Item 13M, approval of a consultant agreement with the Volition Group to review and assess health benefits options. Educators have been asking for healthcare cost relief for several years now. There are two meaningful ways to tackle healthcare costs for employees in a school district our size: raise the employer contribution or explore insurance and plan changes that create savings. We raised the employer contribution in 2023, finally reaching the Los Angeles County median contribution that year. BTA believes it is time we look at the other side of the equation. BUSD has been purchasing our health insurance through CalPERS for over a decade, even as CalPERS rates have increased more than other large California health insurance pools. It's time we shop around. If your cell phone bill or car insurance suddenly increased far more than that of your neighbors and friends, would you blindly continue to pay for it with no further research, or would you shop around? We know there are no guarantees we can find savings with the other large healthcare pools, but it is inexcusable not to do our due diligence. Approving this contract will allow us to do our due diligence with the help of experts who have demonstrated success for other school districts, including Glendale Unified, and who receive no compensation from the insurance industry that might influence their advice, an unfortunately rare trait among health benefits consultants. BUSD looks forward to supporting this process and hopefully identifying savings for both the district and our members. Finally, while I know my colleague Rachel Zonshine spoke about the importance of extending Proposition 55, a source of about $21.7 million of funding for BUSD schools, I wanted to remind everyone in our community of the importance of this funding source, especially as signature gathering begins. While current state funding for our schools is not nearly enough, a reduction of nearly 15% in state funding would be catastrophic. And I hope everyone here can consider this when weighing how to respond to someone asking for their signature. As Rachel said in November, California public schools generally, and Burbank Unified specifically, do not need more cuts. They need more investment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Happy New Year to you and all of our teachers, Ms. Schwartz. And I don't see anyone also CS yet. There's, right. Okay, and Laura is not here. All right, 9C, reports from the superintendent. Dr. Macias.
Thank you, Dr. Arkanyan. I want to start by thanking our community. We hosted our community session the other night on Tuesday, December 16th, and a sincere appreciation to the folks, the administrators and staff at Dolores Huerta Middle School for hosting. Thank you to every individual who submitted questions and participated, and those who showed up as well. This is just the first of hopefully many sessions that we'll host together to share information and to rebuild trust within the community. So thank you. Looking forward to more. We are going to be finalizing the formation of the Superintendent's Budget Advisory Committee. We will be meeting early in the new year, probably meeting quite a bit to discuss our fiscal landscape, our priorities, hopefully get a lot of rich, valuable feedback from our partners involved. We need to navigate our financial realities that are facing us. So please be on the lookout for that, and I'm looking forward to working with that group. Again, part of our efforts to connect with our community and bridge, very much needed at this moment. Want to make sure that our students here in the audience and at home and district-wide, I've been talking about student voice. I've been really making it an effort for the last couple of years, and I really want to connect with our students. So beginning in January, expect a series of announcements, but I really want to launch the Superintendent Student Advisory Council. So I will be going to all of our high schools and connecting with our student groups and making sure that we have a formal way of connecting and gathering feedback directly from our students and gaining their perspective that will better inform our decisions and how we do things. So be on the lookout for that. I was able to this morning spend some incredible time at Bret Harte Elementary for their holiday performance. And I know a lot of our elementary schools, all of our elementary schools did it district-wide, but a huge shout out to the Bret Harte community. The kids were fantastic, and I left that room, I left that auditorium full of joy and pride. Followed up again tonight with our Luther Burbank Middle School performers as well, too. It's an amazing thing to see our kids sing and be happy, and even a more joyful thing to see our members of our community participate in overflow auditorium. So amazing experience with that. I do want to close with a reference to someone that I seek quite often in terms of reflection and thought and just advice in terms of podcast and readings, and that's a person by the name of Mel Robbins, and she has this quote: "You have the power to change your life, you just need to start." And I truly believe that resonates strongly with me. It resonates with the work that this district has been doing. Ever since June 5th, we have had the power to change, and we have done that. We've started that, and we'll continue to work with that. I stand here or sit here very proudly representing the district, very proud of our team for navigating those challenges. It's taken a lot of honesty, a lot of accountability, a lot of challenges, and a lot of willingness to confront longstanding issues. But we're getting there, and we're making strides. And again, it's not work that's done in isolation. It does take an entire community. The members of our team here, administratively, district leadership team, our site principals, our teachers, our parents, our community, thank you for your engagement. And to our students, we are always hyper-focused around you and your needs. So we will always work in that direction. And with that, I say thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Macias. Now we're going to go to request to address the board. An individual or group representative present this evening may address the Board of Education on any agenda item on any subject within the jurisdiction of the school board by completing a white request card and turning into Ms. Quintero. Speakers are requested to state their name prior to speaking to the board. No more than 5 minutes may be allotted to each speaker except by unanimous consent of the Board of Education. The superintendent may refer the matter to the proper department for review. And the district is providing alternatives to in-person attendance for viewing and participating. Do we have any virtual speakers? No. All right. First speaker is Vladimir Hovhannisyan.
Hello, dear board members. I hope you're all doing great today. My name is Vladimir, and I'm speaking on behalf of Global Unity and ASB from Burbank High School. I don't know why our ASB leadership is not present today. Hopefully they will be present on the upcoming meetings. But Global Unity exists to represent the student voice in a real and meaningful way. Our goal is to identify issues on campus, bring forward new ideas, and actually work toward change, not just talk about it. We focus on problems that affect students' daily lives and look for practical solutions. As Dr. Macias said on the other meeting, Global Unity is a student body that connects student voices with real issues on campus. We're not focused on decorations or theoretical projects. We focus on action. We're also currently planning a conference that will focus on school safety issues and the official launch of our assigned sign project. This is already in progress, and we're excited about the opportunity to continue working with the administration to improve campus life. With that in mind, I want to bring up a concern that was shared with me by one of our Global Unity members and also ASB members. This concern comes from a student who uses a wheelchair. There is an ongoing problem with the elevators at our school. She has classes on the 3rd floor, and when the elevators are not working, she's not able to get on to those classes. This limits her ability to move freely in the building and directly affects her education. This situation affects her both physically and emotionally. By not being able to access her classes impacts her independence, her personal space, and her well-being. Because of these accessibility issues, there have been discussions about moving her to virtual or homeschool learning. A student should not be forced to change how they learn because the building is not accessible. I'm addressing this issue because I know the people in this room have the opportunity to help to solve it. I also understand that this is not only a school issue. Facilities, BUSD facilities are also part of this system, and cooperation between departments is necessary to fix this particular problem. Her parents and she herself are very frustrated, and the frustration is understandable. Setting up a reliable elevator system would allow her to attend school the way she wants to and deserves to without being limited. With all responsible departments can work together to address this issue and find a solution before the Christmas break, if it's possible. It would be a meaningful difference. Thank you for your time, and thank you so much for all the work that you are already doing for our schools and our students. Today we also will hear from other Burbank High students sharing their concerns, and I'm really looking forward to hearing what they have to say. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. And next we have Charlotte Hartwell and Beckett Constantine. Yeah. And for those of you, just a reminder, we have always put student speakers first. So that's what we're doing right now. Yes, after Charlotte and Becca is Riley Connor, if I have it right. Riley, are you here? Okay. Yeah.
Good evening. My name is Charlotte Hartwell. I am a current senior at Burbank High School.
Good evening. I'm Beckett Constantine, and I currently attend New York University, but I am an alum of Burbank High School.
We're here to speak on the new district policy limiting summer school courses available for initial credit in BUSD, as well as other methods for managing course loads that may be revoked. We both know how difficult it is to manage busy schedules with advanced coursework and extracurriculars, and would like to give insight as to how the new policy may affect BUSD students.
So I took a variety of summer school courses throughout various programs that allowed me to free space in my schedule during my years at Burbank High School. This space allowed me to take multiple ensemble courses, such as jazz band, wind ensemble, marching band, and also allowed me to have space for APs. And these courses that I took are what got me into New York University and what allowed me to pursue my passion, which is jazz studies. And without these courses, I would not have been able to get into the university. So I believe that it's essential that summer school courses stay open and that students have the option to take courses that they need to fulfill their GED requirements and to fill language requirements, so that they're able to take the courses that they would like to prioritize for their major and for their specific interest when it comes to pursuing college. If I didn't have the option to take these summer school courses, I would not have been able to compete with my peers academically, and I probably wouldn't have gotten into a lot of the colleges that I did get into or have the opportunities that I had.
As for myself, I've been in the instrumental music program for 4 years, and every year I've had 2 music classes. I've also been in sports for 4 years, participating in 2 varsity level sports my junior and senior year. My coursework has consisted of honors and AP classwork, and the courses required for the NAF Engineering Academy, of which I am also a part of. I would not have been able to achieve any of that without the ability to take required courses over the summer and the ability to have more classes per year than a traditional schedule allows. I've taken a total of 6 classes outside of my school, 3 of which were summer courses. I also had 8 classes my freshman year and 9 my sophomore year. Now I'm a senior and I am applying to colleges. Any one of the things that I just listed could very well be the difference between me and another prospective student at a university. My ability to take summer courses and 0 periods may have been a determining factor in my educational future. Not only that, arts and sports and other extracurricular programs might make high school more enjoyable for students. They deepened my experience and made my education much more meaningful. I can't imagine my days without band, without basketball, without courses that challenge me and my peers, and I know many students that feel the same. I'm graduating next year. This policy will not affect me, but I'm here to speak on behalf of all of the students that it will affect. I'm also here as proof of what the opportunities in jeopardy have the potential to offer to BUSD students. I implore the district to reconsider this policy change to keep as many doors open for their students as they possibly can and to encourage them, not limit them, to pursue their passion and further their education, even if it is by non-traditional means. If reversing this policy means even one more student is able to find a path to their success in Burbank schools, I believe it is worth it. Please make it worth it for the students who depend on you. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have Daniel Bagumian. No.
You had Riley, didn't you? Maybe didn't do Riley, and then Danielle.
Oh, I'm sorry. Riley, you're next. Sorry, it's been a long day and I haven't had my 5th cup of coffee. So, Riley, how are you?
I'm good. Good evening. My name is Riley O'Connor. I'm a current sophomore at Burbank High School, and I'd like to give my own perspective on the current changes of the summer school system at our school. So on December 12th of this year, an email was sent out to students and families containing information about course offerings. In the document that was in this email, it stated that any English courses, sciences, government or economics, all math levels besides geometry, and any world languages would be prohibited for initial credit courses. I heard rumor that the logic behind this decision is that there is a portion of students who have taken these classes online and enrolled for the next level of this class on ground. And when they had started these classes, they had lower grades on ground. For example, C's compared to the A's they were reaching in the summer school courses. I don't have any facts that would allow me to confirm or deny this rumor, but if this is true, I understand the reasoning. But this decision being made is a blanket decision that is based off of the fault of some students who are failing to put in the effort, maybe, that is affecting students who would do whatever it takes to be successful. I am personally enrolled in the instrumental music program at Burbank High School. I'm in the wind ensemble, jazz band, and the marching band. Music is something I've had a passion in since I was very young. And over the past 2 years, my schedule has had a few issues. In freshman year, I was in the NAF Academy for engineering, which counts as an elective, and marching band took off at least one space in my schedule, but I still had to take health and college and careers over the summer to clear up space in my schedule. Even with all of this that I had done, when I showed up to registration, I was told it was not possible to get me a 0 period or the language class that I'd requested. I was hoping to take 3 years of language, as it is highly recommended for any 4-year colleges, but I had thought that I still have 3 years in high school and I'd be able to take a language every year and get it done. This year, I took world history over the summer to make space to have jazz band in my schedule. When I showed up to registration this year, I found out they were yet again unable to get me a 0 period, and they were unable to get me a language unless it was 6 period Spanish, which would give me no time between my marching band practices, which last about 3 hours. For the sake of my own body and health, I decided to decline that offer so I could have a break, and I would still be able to take Spanish over the summer until now. This change has made me a less competitive student when I graduate in 2 years. In fact, all it has done for students has made all of us less competitive. I understand why this decision may seem like a good idea and was brought up, but the fact is that now, as our school was told last year that they have to offer less 0 periods, this change leaves us even less opportunity to take the courses that we want to. Sure, students could take less electives to make room in their schedule, but we shouldn't have to choose. Students should not have to choose whether they want to be competitive or they want to do what they love. It should be possible to do both, and it could be, but not with this change. Other districts are not doing this, and I shouldn't have to change school districts to be successful. I shouldn't have to think about doing so. The reality of it is, though, that the right students will do whatever it takes to be successful, but the right schools will be next to them along the way helping them. Thank you.
All right, we have Daniel Barkumian, followed by Sarah Vilemjian Odell.
Good evening, Mr. President and members of this board. I first want to thank everyone here for their incredible work supporting students. However, there is a critical flaw that many of us students are here to talk about today. Recently, this board decided not to allow students the opportunity to take summer school for initial credit for subjects like foreign language and math. I ask this board to reconsider that decision because from what you will hear from many students, we need to take classes over the summer to ensure we are competitive and to ensure that we have rigorous course loads. We don't want to give up the electives that we love and sports that we are committed to. It's ironic that a district that prioritizes student education would limit it with this decision. For me personally, that comes with deciding between taking journalism, a class that I love and have found a dedicated community in, or taking Spanish for another year and remaining competitive to universities. Currently, I am wrestling with the idea of taking 7 classes next year just to ensure that I keep the classes I love while maintaining a rigorous course load. That's an 8-hour school day. This board's decision punishes those seeking to get ahead and hurts Burbank high schoolers' educations. I previously came to you all before to talk about Model Congress, a civic engagement club at Burbank High School. You all expressed your strong support for the club. Now hopefully that'll translate to listening to student concerns because ultimately we are your constituents. Today, I ask this board to reverse their decision to ensure our schools take the right step forward and tell every student leader here that we are being heard. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Sarah Vilemjian. Is it, what's the last? Is it Odu?
Vilemjian Odell.
Odell. Thank you. Welcome.
Good evening and happy holidays, Mr. Chair and members of the board. My name is Sarah Bilimjin Odell. Getting ahead is a goal I have and many people I know have as well. It's the comfort of being able to have the opportunity to take more advanced classes. Blocking students from taking those classes over the summer to get ahead is blocking the academic drive of many. As a freshman, I take my high school career seriously. These determine the rest of my life. Many of my friends, including myself, have a goal set to be able to take all our wanted classes as well as extracurriculars and sports. Currently, I am in the IMA and the VMA, as well as a sport. Blocking these classes makes it harder for student athletes and athletes in the performing arts to take rigorous courses and to be competitive to colleges. On behalf of the next generation of students, please don't allow the district to block our academic drive. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Anna. Is it Bolalian or Balalian? Come on up, Anna.
Good evening, members of the Burbank Board of Education, superintendent, and community members. My name is Anna Badalian, and I am a student at Burbank High School, and I am here today to respectfully ask and express my concern regarding the summer school courses cutting, specifically in math, English, and world languages. These summer school courses are not about remediation or make-up credit. They are about opportunity, initial credit, summer classes that allow students to get ahead and balance demanding schedules during the school year and explore academic pathways. Math, language, and science courses are foundational subjects. Taking them over the summer provides an opportunity to take accelerated or advanced placement courses during the school year, which promotes challenge and course rigor for the students of BUSD, which can ultimately help students within their college application process. Removing these options limits flexibility and places unnecessary barriers in front of motivated students who want to challenge themselves and get ahead. I have spoken to the Burbank High School principal, Mr. Hubble, about this issue, and he has informed me that one of the primary reasons math and world languages were cut was due to the lack of course rigor in comparison to BUSD in-school courses. As a student who has taken both a world language and a math course over summer, I can confidently say that these courses are rigorous. I have taken assurance learning, and this has helped me success as an academic and has helped me cut down my classes in my school year so I can do things like dance and other extracurricular activities. Additionally, my friend Vladimir, a student who transferred from BUSD to another country, has told me that without taking summer school courses like Algebra 2, he would be behind in grade level courses, in the grade level coursework, despite the fact that he had taken Algebra 2 in his home country. I respectfully ask the board to reconsider these cuts and offer and explore alternative channels to sustain these offerings, whether through relocating resources, seeking partnerships, or finding creative resolutions to combat the loss of these courses. Preserving initial credit summer classes in math, English, world languages, and sciences sends a message that Burbank values student initiative, preparation, and access to opportunity. Thank you for hearing me out today.
Thank you. Next, we have Mariana Tsargayan.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Mariana Sergoyan, and I am a sophomore at Burbank High School. A few days ago, the BUSD district sent out an email regarding summer school. The email included the following courses as prohibited to take over the summer: all sciences, all English classes, all math classes with the exception of geometry, and all world languages. This sudden and unprovoked change has caused an uproar within schools in the district who have been provided with no reasoning or justification for this new implementation. I, along with many of my fellow classmates, believe that this change is detrimental for students in the district. So many students, myself included, have created four-year plans for the classes they would register for with summer classes in mind. With the majority of said classes being prohibited, the schedules of countless students have been altered. To compensate for this change, students have dropped classes that were incredibly important to them, such as various electives and APs, even sports. I have a friend named Ryan who, although could not make it today, wanted to share how this policy impacted him. He has been playing violin for 10 years and has been a member of our school's orchestra. Due to him not being able to take pre-calc over the summer, he will be forced to drop out of orchestra, a class in which he has found a supporting community that shares his passion for music. This is a clear example of how detrimental this change will be for students who are faced with a policy that not only restricts them from getting ahead, but also forces them to sacrifice classes they have anticipated to take. Furthermore, many students relied on summer school to fill up required credits to not only attend universities, but to simply graduate. It goes without saying why this is undoubtedly problematic. I can understand why some may think that summer school lets certain students avoid learning a subject fully and encourages students to slack off, because yes, that can happen. However, if a select few decide not to pay attention or to make an effort and actually learn the material of the course they're taking, that should be their choice to make and their consequences to face. Let the poor decisions of some students reflect on their own grades and lack of preparation for their future classes, not on the choices of all students in the district. Another classmate of mine, Frankie, took Algebra 2 over the past summer. She studied endlessly to grasp a sufficient understanding of the subject to prepare her for pre-calc this school year. Because of summer school, she now has space to finish high school with both AP Calc AB and AP Calc BC under her belt, something that thousands of students are now restricted from doing. Not everybody had the opportunity to advance earlier on, as not everybody went to elementary or middle school in this district. Therefore, those who couldn't get ahead earlier are placed at a disadvantage to those who got that opportunity. And seeing as how competitive institutions are with their student admissions, every course, every AP, every credit counts. With everything said in mind, it is clear that the establishment of this policy will harm students more than help them. Members of the board, I advise you to consider what has been stated, to take into account the importance of summer school for students, and to take action with the district in righting this wrong. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And our last, not last, Avery, is it Lutzik? Lutzik.
Good evening. My name is Avery Halidzik, and I'm a sophomore at BHS, and I am here to speak to you about the new restrictions on summer school zero periods and class load. I've been in many BUSD meetings, most recently to talk about the great things that are happening in Burbank High School due to our visual arts and NAF programs. However, this new ban on math, science, English, and world languages completely prohibits students from completing required classes so they can free up space in their schedule during the school year. Without that option, students are often forced to choose core requirements over the arts during the school year. This means that students who have interests in music and art will not be able to access these incredible programs because they will be stuck taking classes that in years before they could have gotten out of the way. This ban disproportionately affects the most ambitious students who want to maximize their high school education. Many of my friends have already had to grapple with the fact that they will have to drop their arts because they need to take required classes. This also greatly impacts incoming freshmen like those in Spotlight, who will not have the opportunity to do choir because they will have a completely full schedule with math, language, health, science, English, and PE or a sport. Under these new rules, it will be almost impossible to fit choir into the schedule, denying an opportunity for these freshmen to continue with their passions. This also greatly handicaps students that want to continue with art in college and as a career. In this city so heavily ingrained in the entertainment industry, where I can step out of my house and throw a rock and hit Universal or Warner Brothers Studios, it is completely unacceptable that students will be cut off at the knee, unable to be competitive in the arts. I urge the board to reconsider this decision and recognize that summer school plays a critical role in keeping the arts and the joy and happiness that they bring this district accessible during the school year. Thank you.
Thank you. And next we have Annalyn Luca, and that is the last student card.
Good evening. My name is Annalyn Luca. I'm a current senior at Burbank High School. I didn't plan on speaking tonight, so this is very rushed. But I listened to my fellow students. It's on the same matter. I'm very sorry for taking up more of your time. But I listened to my fellow students, and I was reminded that throughout my high school career, many doors to classes have been closed for me because of what I'm assuming is the same foundational idea, which is that kids will be taking on more than they can handle and will fail. My sophomore year, I was denied moving up to English honors. My junior year, I was denied a 7th class. My senior year, I was denied AP Calc BC. And again, I'm assuming that they were all based on policy that had the same foundation, which is that students take on more than they can handle. And that's true. There's kids that do that, but if you look behind me, I'm in classes with all of these kids. You're not helping the kids that take on too much, you're stunting the ambitious ones. I work closely with a lot of you to improve high school and to improve our district, and this just isn't it. I think at the end of the day, it's really easy for you guys to leave this chamber and not really think about the individuals, but I have friends that, like, when we're in the 6th grade, we take a math test, and that decides your math trajectory for the rest of high school. And if you're not allowed to take summer classes, you can't take Calc AB and Calc BC. And all of this is predetermined, and it just shouldn't be. And summer classes are that opportunity to change your trajectory for life. As Beckett mentioned, these are opportunities to get into college, but it's also just an opportunity to learn. I don't think that a lot of people have mentioned that part. I take my AP classes just because I like to learn, and you're stunting that opportunity for a lot of kids. And you you guys are preaching that you're trying to make that change. This is not the change that we want. This is not the change that we're asking for. The students that take summer classes can handle it. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have George Schlossman.
Mr. Agakani, and shame on you. I sent you a very polite email, sent copies to everybody else except for Ms. Cano, asking you to adjourn the meeting in the honor of Mr. Reiner, who did a lot for the kids in California with his California First Five program. And I didn't even get the courtesy of a reply from you. Shame on you. But it's interesting, though, that when your father died, you adjourned the meeting in his honor and had us all watch a long video about him. And his highlight was calling radio stations. That's what you told us. I went to Mr. Macias's community session. It was largely a waste of time. He largely puffed his own horn, tooted his own horn, told us how many hats he's wearing and how he's cleaning up the chaos that he created. Told us about how he wants to poach children from other districts to help prop us up. How would you like it if those other districts did that to us? That's his solutions. And by the way, those kids, when they come, they don't pay a penny to this $1 billion bond that you ram down our throats. They don't live here. They don't own property here. Ms. Kamkar, I've heard you mention several times, there's more roaches in the closet in this district, and you hint about it constantly, that there's more information to come. So here's my phone number, 818-442-8118, and here's $1,000, and it's my pleasure to give up to $1,000 to anybody who provides information leading to the arrest and conviction of any district employee, elected official, or administrator committing malfeasance in this district. Now, I got this email. It relates to item 13L on your agenda. It's giving this guy $1,300 a day, $145,000 for consulting. I'm going to read it to you as quick as I can. I would like to bring to your attention an item of grave concern being presented by Oscar Macias for approval to the Burbank USD Board of Education on December 18th. Jason Hasty, consultant agreement in the amount of $145,000 for 6 months' work, up to 6 months' work, January 26 to June 26. Elevate K-12 Leadership, LLC, founded on August 21st, 2024. Note, this entity is distinct from Elevate K-12, a virtual teaching program founded in 2015. Unlike what is stated in the cover memo of the agenda item, Jason Hasty does not have 26 years of experience leading and transforming school district business services. As stated in his own resume, his experience in a business services capacity began in 2022 as CBO with Weisburn Unified School District. Prior to that, his experience was in the educational realm. His resume also clearly outlines his lack of longevity in any organization which he has been employed. Jason Hasty was recently removed as superintendent of Beverly Hills and was demoted as assistant superintendent. He is currently on paid administrative leave and in the process of being terminated. Jason Hasty is not highly spoken of by a source at the Los Angeles County Office of Education. So to the board members, slow down. Table this thing. Take your time. Do an investigation. Find out what this is all about. I don't have any confidence in Mr. Macias or anybody he recommends. This is deeply problematic. $145,000, $1,300 a day. It's a 6-month contract, but he can accomplish this money he can grab up this money after only 111 days of work. Do the math. This is the direction you want to take us? More chaos from a lackluster superintendent. I encourage you to be humble. I encourage you to back up. I encourage you to think about what you're doing to this district. There are ramifications. We're tired of the chaos within this organization. You've hitched your wagon to the wrong horse again. Didn't you learn anything from Hill? Didn't you learn anything from Paramo? Now you're repeating history with this guy. Thank you. And I want to tell everybody, have a safe and healthy new year. And if I get worked up, like you're laughing at me, Ms. Weisberg, it's because it's for good cause.
Thank you. We have Ian Boles. Did I pronounce that right? Boles. Thank you. I had it right the first time.
Hi, my name is Ian Bowles. I'm a resident of Burbank. I'm a classified employee here at the BUSD, and I'm a proud member of our CSEA union. I wanted to start today by giving a shout out to my fellow classified employees and say thank you for all the time, effort, and hard work you put in the background to keep this place running and support the students, teachers, and community. When everything goes well, the work we do often goes unnoticed. So I want to say as a community member and a fellow coworker, thank you, and I appreciate y'all. All of this wouldn't be possible without you. I also want to say thank you to some other members of our staff that will be departing in this new year, either for retirement or for new opportunities. They have dedicated countless hours and sanity to running and improving this district. Firstly, I want to thank Letitia, our HR supervisor. She has always worked hard, and even on the other side of the table during negotiations, she was always willing to hear us out and work with us. Thank you for your time and commitment, Letitia. And thanks always for answering my emails. You will be missed. Secondly, I want to thank Lisa, our accounting supervisor. Lisa was a lifelong BUSD employee who herself graduated from Burbank High. She worked her way all the way from a payroll tech to her final role as the accounting supervisor. She showed up every day and worked hard and was always willing to help others. I would attribute a lot of my own success here at this district to her help on my first few days up until her last. Truly, thank you, Lisa, for everything. Lastly, I want to thank you, Miriam, the fiscal director and assistant superintendent. Although your time with us was brief, the impact you had and made here will not be. You came to a department that was understaffed and working on antiquated processes. You helped us become more effective and migrated us into the digital era. You poured countless hours and endless espresso shots into this place. You helped make our department work better and a better place to work. You truly are appreciated by the people that worked here with you. I hope the best for you in the next chapter of your career in life. Thank you, Miriam. I also want to thank the board, the admin, and our community member. Have a good night and happy holidays.
Thank you. Next, we have Jennifer Scott. Scott.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to the board and the community. My name is Jennifer Scott. I'm a financial analyst for Burbank USD, as well as a Burbank resident and an alum of Edison, Luther, and Burroughs. I'm here tonight to speak to the incredible work of Dr. Mariam Abdelhamid as Director of Fiscal Services and as Assistant Superintendent of Business Services. The past several years have brought errors and scandal to light at the district, and the community is understandably passionate about ensuring the integrity, safety, and fiscal stability of the district moving forward. This passion is reflected in Dr. Abdelhamid's actions and in her heart. Mariam moved across the country to lead the Fiscal Services Department, and for 2 years, she showed up day after day with as much dedication for this district and our students as I have seen in any lifelong Burbankian. When asked to step up as assistant superintendent, Mariam accepted the challenge and continued doing her director of fiscal job alongside it, remaining an incredibly strong leader and advocate. I joined the department in 2024, and I was welcomed with enthusiasm and high expectations. In my short time here, I've seen marked improvement in multiple areas, as well as increased transparency, cross-departmental communication, and efficiency in operations. Fiscal Services has been working hard, and we will continue to do so in Dr. Abdelhamid's absence, but make no mistake, this loss is significant for the district, and we will miss the exemplary leadership and support we were lucky enough to have for a short time. Thank you, Mariam, for everything. Thank you all.
Thank you. Jim Roy, followed by Andrea Lamb, and that's the last card.
Good evening, Mr. President, Vice President, Board Clerk, and staff members, and everyone else here. I'm not sure how to properly address you, excuse me. But I am here on behalf of Assemblymember Nick Schultz, and he unfortunately could not be here this evening, but he wanted me to present 3 certificates to the board leaders, and thanks for your very, very hard work. And he emphasized very, very much. In fact, it's an excerpt I'm going to read on this certificate. I don't usually do that because after presenting as many of these as I have, they are dry. Thank you. But it is very, very heartfelt, and if you'll allow me to read that here. During your time in office, you worked to strengthen the city and our school communities in the wake of unprecedented uncertainty, putting education first in all your efforts. Your work is a reminder of the values and unity and resilience at the heart of this great state. And I would just like to echo that this has been a very difficult year for all of you. I have been working here in Burbank for 2.5 years, and I know some of the things that happen. As much as teaching can be sort of the unsung heroes, you guys put forth a lot of effort, and it is even more unknown and unsung, but you are the center for it all and the success behind so much of the students and where they go. I would like to say one last thing. It's very interesting for me to hear these students speak and how much they want to succeed in their high school careers and their subsequent college careers, and that is a tremendous testimony to you all. They're here begging, teach me more, teach me more. Wow, that is quite an accomplishment, and something that in and of itself you should also be very proud of. So on both sides. So thank you very much for your time. If I may, I will leave these up here for you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your time and all that you do, everyone here.
Thank you, Mr. Roy. Last card, we have Andrea Lamb. And that was
Hello, everybody. My name is Andrea Lamb. I've worked for the district for over 20 years, and I'm currently the Print Center warehouse manager. I'm here today to discuss my concerns about the selection of a new superintendent. I went back and watched board meetings and read agendas from 2022 until today to base my explanation on facts so I can hold you accountable without making it personal. When you said in June you were going out for a superintendent search, I didn't agree with it, but I could see why. Today we were in a different situation. Our executive cabinet is almost non-existent, and a majority of other cabinet members all have 5 years or less of experience in their positions. We were hemorrhaging, and you keep saying it's just a scratch. I keep hearing that we need to go outside to change the culture of the district. The culture exists because the board has repeatedly chosen not to hold leadership accountable. To see what the superintendent deliberation process might look like, I watched the SFOC and board member selection meetings. I saw dysfunction and disorganization. A major part of your job is oversight, which seems to be lacking considering the amount of problems the community has pointed out in the past 6 months. At the September 18th meeting, Armin berated staff because of an error on Andy's salary from the August 21st personnel report. You all had the opportunity to see the error for yourselves when you received that agenda, and you did not. You may not like the way the facts are presented, but they are still facts. Apologies are meaningless if your behavior doesn't change. You've had the opportunity to correct mistakes, and you have not taken them. Andy still had 2 years left on his original contract. He could have pulled his new contract in June until the Sobel investigation was over, and he didn't. The 3 months Andy has been on paid leave, he's made more than our office managers and custodians make in a year. This is less about personnel issues you can't talk about, and more about your inability to make decisions in a timely manner. Matt Hill was placed on leave, and his contract was paid out within 3 weeks. I'm not asking for details, I'm asking for resolution one way or another. Mr. Vandervoort said at the end of this month, we will have spent $500,000 on paid leave. Do you know how demoralizing that is to employees who show up every day? Look at it from the point of view of an employee. The cost of living is rising and our wages are not. I'm not seeing you make any changes that are making things better. How can you not expect me to be skeptical that this time you will make the right decision? I'm afraid that even if Oscar is the best candidate, you will not pick him because you don't like the optics of spending $30,000 to find out we had the right person here all along. I went to the CSBA website to understand what exactly a board member's job is. According to their professional governance standards, individual trustees understand that authority rests with the board as a whole, not with individuals. The board should take collective responsibility for their performance and ensure opportunities for diverse community views to inform board deliberations. Watching multiple years of board meetings, a pattern emerged of two members dictating the majority of discussions and questions. To blame these two would be a mistake. There are three other board members who have the ability to speak up and push back. That's what I'm counting on them to do with one of the most important decisions this district has faced in years. There are 5 of you on the board, but 3 is the magic number. Democracy works by a simple majority of votes, not who has the loudest voice. I understand that your job is hard, but you need to understand that I need you to do better. Armand, you've been on this board for 10 years. In those 10 years, can you say you've done your best to make the district better? Is the past 6 months the legacy that you want to leave? Emily, at the February 3rd, 2022 board meeting, you said you had met with me, and I told you that you were asking the wrong questions. At that same meeting, Louis Ayala asked the board if they were doing their part to make this district better. How far have you come since then? Not only are you still asking the wrong questions, sometimes you're not asking any at all. I respect the personal toll it's taken on you, but respect my need for something more than rhetoric without action. Abby, you've been on the board for 3 years. The choices you make directly affect your children. Can you say that they're better off than they were 3 years ago? Lorette, you have personal experience working with a board that people have no confidence in. As an employee, you know how demoralizing that can be. Do the work here so we won't go in the same direction. Kelsey, every board meeting I see you getting better. Asking about the lawyer fees was a question that board members with years of experience should have asked before considering Andy's new position. Part of the reason I came forward tonight is it's been 2 months since my fellow UC Santa Cruz slug, Jan Hacker, stood here and spoke from the heart. She inspired me to do the same. For the most part, this has been a great place to work. I've met people here who have become my family. People who not only show up for you at work, but show up for you in life. In the past 3 years, I feel there has been a slow erosion of the district by people who put what's best for themselves before what's best for the district. As an employee with no real union protection, this is not easy for me to come forward because I am vulnerable to retaliation. But silence is impolite consent. If fellow employees feel the same and don't feel comfortable coming forward, contact the executive board of your union, or better yet, go to a union meeting. If you're not happy with the board, run against them. We had a board member who did not receive 1 vote because they ran unopposed. Democracy only works if we participate in it. I'll leave you with a quote from Winston Churchill. Those that fail to learn from history are condemned to repeat it.
Well said.
All right, thank you very much. Superintendent comments.
Thank you, sir. I want to make sure that our students who are here, students who left, and other students who have the same concerns that were shared tonight from Burbank High in summer courses. And I'm going to allow Ms. Markison and Dr. Anders to explain a little bit further, but you're being heard. It's not, I don't ever want you to feel that you're not, and that's exactly the engagement I want. We do need to hear this. These do inform our decisions. I do want one point of clarity, though. The board didn't make this decision. And again, I'm going to allow Dr. Anders and Ms. Markison in a second to explain a little bit further. Deeper than that, though, this is something that as a district we do need to discuss. Our graduation requirements, our staffing, our course offerings, that conversation is long overdue. But part of the outreach I'm asking for is that you need to be part of that conversation as well. Not just in this moment, but in other future discussions. So please understand you're being heard. You don't have to come and speak. Speak to your principals, email us. We're here to hear you out and support you and make decisions. One thing I do want to make sure is that the communication is better and that you are aware of things as they transpire. So I want to make sure that you do hear that, and thank you for coming. To Mr. Bowles, Ms. Scott, thank you for your words. And yes, Dr. Abdelhamid and her departure and others who are leaving. We are, as a district, as a leadership team, we are always going to be supporting partners to our employees, whether they're with us or not. We are going to miss everyone. Miriam understands that, knows that, and we've had a lot of discussions to that point. So, but thank you for sharing your thoughts and your well wishes as well. Actually, with that, I do want to invite Dr. Anderson, Ms. Markinson, to further explain about our classes and summer school.
Hello? Okay. I just asked for the handheld so I don't put my back to you guys while I talk up there. Again, I echo Dr. Macias's comments. We really appreciate you coming out tonight and make sure we're hearing your voices, how this affects students. I'm glad he mentioned that the board has taken a lot of heat over decisions, and this was not one that they made. This was a decision made along with counselors in discussions with instructional services and educational services. My name is Robin Anders, so I want to give you that right off the bat. My email is robynanders@burbankusd.org. So any of you are welcome to reach out to me directly. I do want to show appreciation for our counselors. We got summer school information out earlier than we have traditionally, so this information was shared before winter break, when normally it goes out February or later. So we're really ahead of time, ahead of schedule for making sure we communicate what summer school looks like. There were quite a few things, so I want to clear a couple things up. One, we're still offering summer school, so there was a lot of like middle school math acceleration, for example. That's still happening. Our credit recovery still happening. Initial credit, all of those programs are still happening. What you guys sort of narrowed in on were world language and math. And that is where a change has happened. We wanted to make sure that the information that went out was explicit. English, government, econ, those classes have never been offered through initial credit, so we wanted to make sure that was clear and there wasn't confusion when it came time to request courses. World language and math specifically, a couple of you hit on some of the reasons or some of the discussion points that occurred. One, students that took those classes over the summer, which is about a 4-week course, came back, took the next level class, and felt unprepared to be able to take that next class. It's very true in math, very true in world language. So that's where those specific subjects and courses were identified, because we want to make sure students are prepared for the next course. Second is we have an obligation. It's not just to help you be competitive for college, but to make sure when you do arrive at college, you're prepared. And so putting a course on our transcript from Burbank Unified, we want to make sure that the rigor is there, that you have the skills and the knowledge and the ability to take any college course, whether that's world language or mathematics, and feel prepared for that. So that's another piece that we want to do our obligation and due diligence for. The third part is our counselors have looked at every grade level, so there is a course available at every grade level. So as far as the specifics of every student and making sure they free up a course in their schedule to take an additional elective or additional arts course, that ability should exist. It may not be the exact course you want to take over the summer, but it is a course that's required in that grade level that allows you to free up space. If there's particulars about your schedule that don't work with that course, then I really encourage to talk to your counselors. They're the ones that can evaluate and look at your courses that you intend to take next year, the summer course that you would like to take to free up that space, and then they can forward that information on to us at the district level to be more informed about maybe individual or very specific circumstances, so that we're aware of how that impacts students. But that's really what I wanted to share, and then I'll turn it over to Ms. Markinson.
Hi, I know some of you, you may remember I was the principal at Burbank High for a couple of years, and I completely understand where you're coming from, and I really appreciate how motivated and active a lot of you are and wanting to challenge yourselves and take extra classes. just one thing, and I know this is a difficult thing to think about sometimes, but part of my job is not just Director of Secondary Education, but it's also DEI, okay, or Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And one thing that we are also really trying to do as a district is think about equity issues. And while I would love it if everybody could take extra classes, there is a difficult component to it that some people can't afford to take extra classes. Now, I know some of them are free, but with like our AP classes, UC Scout classes cost, I think, almost $800 to take. And some people can afford that, and some people can't. And it is an unfair advantage for some students who are able to do that. I will say too that another thing that we're noticing is a lot of people wanting to take a lot of AP classes to kind of boost their GPAs. And there's this like very competitive edge, which I get about being a valedictorian or salutatorian. But again, it's almost that people sometimes who can buy those classes are getting an advantage over others who may not be able to afford that. And again, I'm not saying that anyone should have an opportunity taken away, but it is something when you think about students and what should be accessible by one student should be accessible to all. And it's a very difficult line to walk, but it is something that we're having conversations about. So again, we don't want to take away anyone's, motives, but I do want to say too, it is tough because we are in the business of providing those core classes. And I know that people want to take electives. Sometimes I see people taking 3 or 4 electives in the school day, but it's really hard to sustain that for when there's usually a smaller group of students who want to do that we almost can't offer a buffet of choices. Sometimes we have a menu and we can only order off that menu, but we're really trying to accommodate as many as we can. And like Dr. Anders said, sometimes you might not be able to get the exact period you want. The 0 period thing is an issue too because of instructional minutes. We didn't take that away because we wanted to remove opportunities. We wish we could do that. But we have to meet state law requirements on instructional minutes. And as you know, an unintended consequence of the 8:30 a.m. starting time is that any classes before 8:30 a.m. do not count toward our total required instructional minutes. So yeah, I would love to be able to offer that to more students, especially 9th and 10th graders, but we can't count minutes that are 0 period, and we have to meet that by state law. So it's very complicated. There are a lot of ins and outs to it that it seems like it would be easy to fix it, and we are open to hearing suggestions. But like I said, these little nuances that are difficult, we have to consider those as well. So I just wanted to add that and let you know that we hear you. We want to try to find solutions, but sometimes we are kind of facing some roadblocks that aren't as easy as we hope they would be.
There was one other item I wanted to share, and appreciate that the 0 period explanation too. And really, we just want to explain why the reasoning behind this decision, but would still love to dialogue more and work with your counselors. Our summer school shifted about 2-3 years ago to be solely online. So we are able to offer now more courses than we've offered traditionally before the pandemic, distance learning, and we've had to make that adjustment. And the other part of that is students were impacted significantly during the pandemic, and some courses were challenging to take distance learning and other things. And so we're sort of broadened the net temporarily to help those students get through their last couple of years of high school, and we're narrowing that net back down a little bit again as we've returned to pretty normal standards practice. Last piece is a big piece of this is working with our support staff, so like our registrars, as well as the schools that we partner with, Assurance and Mission and Mount Sac, and just dialoguing with them of like, hey, what can we do to support each other? And this is one of the things that was mutually beneficial, was to look at, well, how many students are we sending, and what can you support, and what courses, and et cetera, et cetera. So this is a partnership that requires us to work with them to see what courses they can provide to us and how many students we can send. So that's all part of the equation that we work through too. But again, please talk to your counselors, or I know a lot of you are actually here on behalf of other students. Encourage them to talk to their counselors so that they can pass that forward, information on about specific situations and how we can work to make arrangements. Thanks.
And last couple things. Again, really proud of you for being here. It takes a lot of courage to stand up that podium and the microphone and speak your mind. I encourage it. I'm proud of you for doing that. That's the engagement we want. That's the feedback that we should always be hearing. So thank you for that. Continue to do that. And lastly, just a reminder to the community, the agenda was unfortunately released in draft mode because of our Granicus system, which we're exploring maybe other options. But the priority to release the agenda in a timely fashion to avoid any Brown Act violation was obviously the biggest priority. So just wanted that complete clarity. And thank you.
Thank you. My colleagues, Board Member Olson.
Shall I start? First of all, I have to echo everybody's sentiments that you all came out and spoke. Your passion and the preparedness that you came, I'm beyond impressed. And I was a little taken back because I was like, what is this decision? Where did this come from? So I'm grateful for the clarity that was provided. I want to call out two things. The first is that Annalee, who came up last and spoke, she brought up something that I actually recently discovered in talking to Ms. Markison, and I think it's something that is the deeper rooted issue and things we need to talk about, which is equity in a growth mindset and how we approach looking at when we can get into advanced classes. Because I want to have the belief that everybody can apply and challenge themselves the way that you all have demonstrated that you can and should today. And I think that some of the points that she was making about that assessment in 6th grade, kind of setting your math trajectory, it was literally my former job helping districts come up with ways for students to see the entire map of their high school career, as you all put it, so that they can have really good informed decisions. And if those decisions are starting to happen in 6th grade, we really need to reevaluate when we think about that and how we think about that. So I'm really glad that that was brought up as something to continue to discuss. The second is you're fighting a good fight, because on a deeper level, this is something that's being talked about heavily in the education community. What you're really fighting against is a funny old thing called the Carnegie Unit that was invented in 1906, which is basically defining your learning by the time you sit your butt in a seat. And lately, the education community has been talking about how you demonstrate your mastery, how you demonstrate your learning versus skills-based mastery and competency, showing that, yeah, I did get all of that learning done in those 4 weeks. And I can prove it compared to someone else because of different measurements of learning. And the Carnegie Foundation themselves last summer actually said, I think this was a bad idea. And so there's actually a lot of things happening now in a bigger umbrella level about how we think about learning that I just wanted to plant a seed of hope, because I do think that in the next, hopefully 10 years, this won't be as big of an issue as how we think about choices being made because of time you committed to, and that you couldn't be at classes for a certain hour because that's what the state says. So I really echo that. I'm grateful you came. I'm glad we can have this conversation further, but maybe Google that and just kind of be a part of that conversation too, because we need more student voice and agency and the stories you were sharing. So thank you again for coming forward, and I look forward to more conversations on it. I also am super grateful for Ian and Jennifer for coming forward and singing Miriam's praises and just sharing out some of the great things that are happening in regards to individuals in this community. And I'll just take the moment to say, Miriam, as my sister from the other coast, I'm like so grateful for everything you've done to move us in the right direction, and you will be so missed. I think, at this holiday season, it's the perfect time to be grateful for our teams. And oh my goodness, that the middle school performance, I don't know if y'all saw, I'm like sobbing in the back again. Oh my goodness, they just like start singing and I can't. So anyway, that was not the time to bring that up, but thank you to everybody that came forward today.
Thank you. Board Member Kano.
Okay, Mr. Venetian, in relationship to the elevator. Yeah, it apparently, it definitely isn't ongoing. Did you want to, Dr. Macias?
Yes, it is known. Our folks in facilities are well aware of it. They respond to it. But it is of note and something that we're actively doing. And during the break, we hope to have some major improvements with that. So it's very much ongoing.
I just echo what everyone said in terms of coming up and speaking and having a better understanding and making it clear that we didn't make the decision to do that as a board. We didn't do that. And the passion that you came up with, congratulations. I remember being in high school and going to the school board and talking, and Dr. Anderson looking at me. This was many, many years ago in South Pasadena. But so good for you. Congratulations. And Mr. Bowles and Ms. Scott, I think everyone just all echoes what you're saying in terms of Dr. Abdelhamid. We are going to miss you, and it's not an issue of just because I don't know her all that well, but in terms of you really captured in terms of what the changes that were done, and I'm so grateful that you were able to explain how much needed to be changed and how much this woman accomplished, and it's just very extremely commendable, and definitely we will miss you. Mr. Roy, thank you very much from Mr. Schultz. And Ms. Lamb, thank you very much. I definitely take into consideration everything you said. It was pretty comprehensive, definitely heartfelt, but it was something I'm taking into consideration. Thank you.
She is gone, but I just wanted to acknowledge BTA President Schwartz. I'm really glad that we're finally able to take a look at healthcare costs. I know it's been an issue that you have long asked us about, and I'm extremely happy that we get to have the conversation and see what we can find. Thank you for bringing that to our attention, continuing to advocate for that, and also thank you for your advocacy around Prop 55. I look forward to getting out there and knocking on some doors. And so thank you. I hope you'll continue to come back and not only educate us, but the community. Mr. Ovanesian, thank you for the bringing up the elevators. We do know that it's a consistent issue. We are working on it. I think some of the issue is, sadly, people like to mess with elevators. And so how we can address that too, who knows? But if you have any suggestions, but it's never okay for any of our students to not have immediate access, not just to get to their classes, but in case of emergency. So those are hugely important issues, and when they happen and continue to happen, we need to know about them. To all of Charlotte, Beckett, Riley, Daniel, Sarah, Anna, Mariana, Avery, Anna Lynn, or is it Anna Lean? Anna Lean, thank you. Thank you. I think you heard a lot from Dr. Anders and Ms. Markison. As a former arts kid myself, I always wanted to take multiple arts classes, and it's frustrating when I couldn't get out of the way the classes that I wanted to in the summer. And I think to what Dr. Anders and Ms. Markison were saying, it's tough because our job is not only to give you the classes that inspire you, but also make sure you get the classes that you need to graduate and become competitive academically, whether you end up going to school for the arts or for academics or what it is. And there's just limitations that we have. So I think having these continued conversations and putting forward ideas about ways we can adjust this are really important. I think it's a really sort of bananas thing that 0 period doesn't count. That's obviously not a rule that we make, but it is interesting to understand why that rule exists, why your 0 period class can't count. So that's, maybe something to advocate for on the state level. I need to go back and look at whose decision that was. I have no idea. But that's a frustrating one, and that would definitely change things for people who are looking to take more classes in a day. Yeah, I doubt it. I'm just looking through all of the great things that you guys said. So I know that we, unless I'm wrong, we do require our initial credit coursework to be done in person because those are our foundational subjects. And I know that that's not ideal, but I do think it's important. And then one of the things I don't remember which one of you said it, but you talked about being able to go outside. I think you said it. Be able to go outside and like you could throw a rock and hit like Universal or hit wherever. And so one of the things, a conversation that we can continue to have is what other opportunities can we look for and partner with the different studios and with the different arts organizations in Burbank to give you some outside school opportunities. If we're not able to cram in those extra classes, what else can you do to bolster that college resume or application or to get some real life experience? We have really good connections already with Nickelodeon and some other, and Chuck Lorre Foundation, but why can't we work on expanding that as well? So trying to get creative about getting you some of that, some of the exposure to things that you're passionate about and that drive you, and also making sure you get those core classes, I think is definitely something to continue talking about. So I want to thank you for bringing it up. I don't think it really matters if it was our idea or somebody else's idea. It matters to us, and it's something that we need to do. We need to listen to and work with you and work with our amazing staff on finding ways to meet everybody's needs. To Ian and Jennifer, thank you so much. Ian, I often hear all of our finance clerks at our secondary schools sing your praises, so I wanted to give you a shout out. They talk about how easy you are to work with and how receptive you are and responsive, and that is no mean feat. So thank you both for the work that you do. I think Dr. Abdelhamid and your whole team has really taken the brunt of the last 6+ months. I think we as elected officials, apparently it is part of our job to be held accountable, which we should be. It is, but it's certainly not the job you sign up for as employees, to be dragged through the mud, to have, personal attacks online and on social media and in our newspapers here in Burbank. And it's been really difficult to see that, especially in relationship to Dr. Abdelhamid, who has worked tirelessly to try to move us through an unbelievably difficult time and still shows up and doesn't have to. So thank you for shouting her out. That doesn't often happen. Also to Leticia and Lisa as well. But to Dr. Abdelhamid, it was a heavy lift. And, I think I want to take responsibility for, in a lot of ways, not setting you up for success. And I think that's a learning lesson for me as a board member, which is how we can better set up the amazing new people that come into our district and the amazing people who have been in our district for a long time, how we can better set them up for success and make sure that that's consistent. So I'm grateful to you for the work that you've done and the environment in which you've done it. Thank you, Mr. Roy. He left, but it's always good to see you. Ms. Lamb, thank you. We've had some really good, honest conversations in the past. Maybe not, based on your face. Okay. You've reached out to me a couple of times about issues that are really important to you, and I've responded and will always respond. If there are questions that you think I'm missing, I'd love to hear them. While it's not your job to do that, you have my number and you have my email, and if there is something I'm overlooking, I think that I'm always open to hearing those things. It's important to me. It's how I grow as a board member. I hear your disappointment, I hear your anger, I hear your frustration, I understand that. And I appreciate you sharing it with us. I can assure you again that, I wasn't present, nor, I don't know if anybody was when Dr. Hill's superintendent selection happened. We didn't have a superintendent selection for Dr. Paramo. I think we all want a open, transparent conversation that allows people to ask difficult questions, whether they're BUSD employees or BUSD community. I I know that for some people that is not the way they want us to go, but I think it is unbelievably important for moving forward. I don't think that the goal is to find new blood necessarily. The goal is to find the right person, whoever that might be. So I look forward to the process and hearing from the community. And if you choose to share with us your feelings about the process, I'm sure we'd all be glad to hear it.
Thank you all, and thank you students for coming. And I know you don't have school tomorrow, which is nice, but I'll still try to be brief. I know we've all said thank you for staff clarifying that we didn't make a decision, but I also want to say that we still take responsibility for decisions that staff makes, right? So you're very welcome to come here and be mad at us for decisions that get made. That's kind of our job, is to be accountable and to be responsible for that. Thank you for coming and for telling us how this change has impacted you. And so I think it occurs to me that we only have one high school represented here. So clearly either the other high school wasn't communicated the same information or was communicated differently. So maybe we need to think about how it's communicated and how it's communicated, what students can do if they have an issue, because there's something different going on here, right? And so I want us to think about that. And this is the kind of feedback that the board needs to give staff, right? When we see an issue happening with policy that people are unhappy with, right? I do also want to say that there are a couple of other places where we could use your voice, right? Dr. Macias, I think, talked early on about setting up a student voice panel, and I know that's really important to us. I think there are a couple of other places where we've been talking about talking through policy. We've talked through bringing back our graduation requirements. Part of that is how do we align A through G with our graduation requirements, which could have an impact on this. I know there was a study done at Burroughs, maybe, around block scheduling. When I was a high school student, literally 25 years ago, I had 8 classes because I only had 4 classes a day. And so you could take an entire year, or you could take 2 years of math in 1 year and get ahead in that way, right? So that is one way that we could change things without having to go through a change to summer school and while still being able to take initial credit in person. There are also maybe legislative remedies, right? If the legislature tells us that we can only count first period, like 8:30 on, well, then let's have them change that, right? We've already put some legislative proposals to our Assembly Member Schultz. Unfortunately, his staff member just left, but that doesn't mean we can't call him right up and say, this is a problem for us because we have students who want to start their day at 7:30. We know there is a law around required school starting at 8:30. But if students want to start their day at 7:30, could we count those as instructional minutes? And maybe that gives staff some more freedom, right? So there are some things we can do that are policy things, right? And I do hear that staff from the district level, and I'm sure your counselors want to help you, right? Because nothing makes counselors happier than kids who want to take every class, who want to achieve highly, who want to go to post-secondary options for tons of different things, right? That is awesome, okay? So love what you're doing. Love that you guys came on your night before your break truly starts, okay? So thank you for coming. Ian, Jennifer, thank you again for coming in and speak. I love it when people come and talk about employees, especially folks in district office or that don't always otherwise get a lot of praise. Dr. Abdelhamid has been amazing. I think she knows how I feel about her, but just she's been a delight to work with, and I'm really going to miss her a lot. And I think she's done a lot of really great changes, and change is hard. Really hard. And that doesn't mean that it doesn't need to happen, right? And so we need to continue making those changes. And then the last thing is just, in terms of this taking responsibility, Andrew, we've had a couple conversations, and like, you asked, have you done your best? And I will say that I have tried. Every time I come here to make the best decisions I can make in the moment that I am making them. I come prepared. I ask the best questions I can think of. I try to be thoughtful. I think I've let myself down, though, if I'm honest. I wish we were not where we are. And so I want to do better next year. And I don't know, that's what accountability looks like to me, given where we are. Because I don't think that I want to make sure that we can be as stable as possible, right? And so I'm going to continue making the next right, best choice that I can. Pausing before I do that and making sure I'm not making it with the wrong intentions and thinking about how it impacts students and teachers and staff in our community. Sometimes I make a different choice when I do that, right? But I do think about it a lot, right? Whether, I think if I left now and you asked me, did I leave it better than I found it? No. Other than the fact that we got a bond passed and that we've got new roofs on some schools. Quite honestly. We've got a lot of repair to do. I know that. But thank you. Truly. Thank you.
So to Ian Bowles, right? Thank you. Thank you for your honest and sincere thank you. Again, this time of year also, we want to hear people talking about the holidays and the spirit. But thank you very much. It meant a lot, at least to me and to my colleagues, and to the community and the people who work here. So, to our students, which some of you I know very well, and some of you actually, one of you is interning now in our higher education office in East LA College. Thank you for coming forward. It is important you bring these issues forward and let us know. You heard the answer, but being an advocate for higher education, fighting for it is important. And being in higher education myself, I see the challenges on a daily basis. Just finishing grading my Business 101 students at Glendale College. So keep up the good fight. More than ever, we need individuals to fight for higher education, especially all the challenges facing our students in the world market, from professional to even education, all the changes which are coming. So thank you for bringing it forward, and you already know where to find us if you need to. To Mr. Roy, who left, and to our Assembly Member Nick Schultz, thank you very much. Mr. Schultz always remembers, and his attention to detail is impeccable. But he's also a big fighter for education. We've been talking to him. There's certain legislation that we've talked to him about bringing forward. And for all of you here who are advocates, I know that he's spoken to some of you. You can always go to him and write bills. Actually, we're in talks of maybe creating a contest or something. I don't know. But, you can also bring forward some of your concerns. It's not, for someone who worked in the state legislature for the Speaker's office for almost 10 years, it's not that difficult bringing forward ideas, because you have a team in Sacramento who can take your ideas and convert it into a law. So here's your chance as well. If you think some of these things that you talked about, it's concerning to you and should change, bring it forward. Remember, we get our funding from the state. So it's very important that you make sure that every dollar is spent properly. Now, tonight we talked about legacies and what do you want to be remembered for. Christmas is very difficult for me because in the morning of Christmas is when my father passed. And Christmas is right around the corner. And my father was a man of values and service. He's the one who bestowed the belief of service in me, the first to graduate from aid in his family. All of us here are not here for legacy or what we're going to be remembered for. We're here because we care, because we want to provide the service that's necessary, but also we believe in the value of education. I've been in politics for over 25 years now, working with Majority Leader Fromer as my first elected. Dario said it best. Worst office you can ever run for is school board. Eventually, everyone's going to be angry at you. Teachers, parents, students. But if you believe in the value of education, it is the most rewarding position that you can ever run for. It is very difficult for my colleagues and myself to make these decisions. But I'm not here for legacy, nor what I'm going to be remembered for. And as far as following procedures, I can make the decision who I'm going to join the meeting in, because in a couple of minutes, I'm no longer going to be the president. When the meeting was adjourned in the memory of my father, I asked the board president. So I'm not going to be the board president, so I can't make that decision. With that said, we're going to move to the next item. Where are we at right now? New and unfinished business. 9. 10. Annual organization of the Board of Education and election of officer. 10A. Dr. Macias.
Dr. Arkanyan, at this moment, I would like to make sure we spend time and recognize your time as president. And for me, on a personal and professional note, just thank you for your guidance during the difficult time that I've been doing this since June, and deep appreciation for the service that you've given to the community. I know I speak on behalf of the Burbank Unified District leadership team. We heavily are grateful and are thankful for your service. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And at this time, I want to welcome any of our board members if they have any comments for Dr. Arkanyan.
It's been an exciting first few months, but I'm really grateful for the time that you spent to get to know me and for the role that you've played. And I just want to congratulate you for the time that you've been here.
So I first mentioned we were running for the positions, and so we went through that together, and then basically went through a whole another interesting, we've been kind of, so my tenure with you has been pretty much always on a roller coaster. So, but congratulations, thank you for your past year of service and your leadership. I appreciate it.
Dr. Arkanyan, we do not always agree, and that's all right. But what I always really appreciate about you is the perspective that you bring to this board, because you do have a very different perspective from the other folks up here. You bring the perspective of someone who is an English learner. You bring the perspective of someone who works in higher education, who works with a lot of English learners, who works with a lot of folks who are low income. And you have the ability in this community to really build deep relationships. And I really appreciate that about you. So thank you for your service.
Just thank you for being at the helm of a really crazy year. Hopefully you'll get a little bit of a break so you can sit back and, make public comment first, but not have to not have to be to handle the heavy burden of the agenda. But yeah, I echo a lot of what Vice President Ponser Kamkar said, and just appreciate, you've had a difficult year personally and a difficult year professionally, and I think that you still managed to show up every day and really fight for kids, no matter what else is going on. And I appreciate that.
And before you do that, sir, because I know you're going to say something.
Yes.
In deep recognition and appreciation for your service as president of the board at the Burbank Unified School District during 2024-2025, we do have a wonderful plaque for you. I would love to have you receive it over here, and we can take a picture.
You'll get one? Oh, you won't get one. We'll make you one. We'll make you one.
Can you guys join me? You know. Everyone join us.
We're coming.
Get surrounded by your...
We gotta get old Limpy out here.
Oh.
At least I'm not crutchy.
Abby, you gotta get next to the...
Yeah, Abby, get
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Do you think my kids are still awake?
Special red lacquered. Do you remember when Ferguson
honestly, I went this far.
He did. He did.
I knew he ordered a special.
Oh, Cindy can tell you.
I never saw it.
I make a quick speech and then fun. Number 2.
None of my stuff. Okay.
Thank you. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Macias and team. These are my sisters. So, and sometimes you disagree with your sister, right? Interestingly, last time I was a board president, COVID-19 broke out. So I'm used to interesting years. Yes, right when I started. I didn't even get to go to graduation because we had to do it virtually. But you know what? We managed. And I do appreciate Vice President Kamkar's perspective of what I bring to the table. I've shared this before and I'll share it again. Growing up when every night we were getting bombed during the Iraq and Iran war, I didn't know if I was going to be alive when I woke up in the morning. So every morning when I woke up, and mind at that point I'm 11 years old, it was a blessing. And that's been my philosophy in life. Every morning I wake up and I'm alive, it's a blessing. Every morning I wake up, it's my birthday. So I'm going to start with a simple but a powerful word, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Last year has not been easy. But I can tell you one thing, our commitment, one thing that hasn't changed, we might disagree sometimes, it's our commitment to our students we serve. We're here to serve our students. We know why we're here. It sure ain't for the pay, nor is it for the glory or what we're going to be remembered for. Yeah. And, it's because of our values and what we believe in. I am very proud of this board, of my sisters. And I commend all of you for doing what you're doing. I'm not going to use the word, it's not easy, because you've chosen to serve. You've chosen to serve. And I can tell you, the amount of time that I've spent away not being with our son alone in the last 10 years, when people throw the number 10 out there like it's something so simple, our son is 14. I've been away from him a lot. But he understands that because I bestowed the same values my father bestowed in me, which is the value of education. the most powerful weapon in the world if you want to change it. And all of my colleagues here and my sisters believe in the same thing. To our superintendent and district leadership, thank you for your professionalism, your resilience, it's tough, and your tireless efforts. Again, you're not here for glory, nor are you here for the pay, right? So, I'm sorry. You know. To our teachers and classified staff and administrations, you are the backbone of this district. And, you know, you show up every day to work. I know how difficult it is. But you know what? At the end, you change lives. All of you change lives. So, and to our families and community members, again, thank you for holding us accountable. We're not here arguing, don't hold us accountable. We're here to make sure that we hear you. I think the forum we just had, that hopefully we'll have many more of those, was wonderful. I think the more we hear, you know, the more we know, the better we can operate. But at the same time, I want to remind everyone that all of us here, we have families, we have friends. It's difficult. We're away from a lot of time now from our families and friends because we believe in this. But again, you're advocating passionately. It's something that needs to continue. So thank you for caring deeply. All the families and individuals come forward and talk to us. We really, really appreciate it because your voice does matter to all of us. So as I pass this gavel, you know, I do so with gratitude and hope. I have gratitude for the opportunity to serve and hope for what lies ahead. It's going to be another interesting year. And I'm looking at you, incoming. But, you know, this is a resilient board. This is a resilient district. We're going to get through this, and we're going to come out even stronger, right? So thank you for your trust that you've placed in me for the past year and all the lessons that we've learned together. I look forward to continuing to support the district, not only as a board member, but also as a parent and someone who believes in the power of education. With that said, everyone, we're going to move to the election of officers. So this will be for election of officers for one-year term beginning December 2025 and ending December 2026. We're going to start with president. Can I get a motion for a president? Or nomination, sorry.
Hello. I would like to nominate Abby Ponser-Kamkar as our next president.
I will second that. Let's get a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations, Madam President.
Thank you.
This is where we shift now?
I think we do all three and then we shift.
All right. Now let's go to Vice President. Can I get a motion for Vice President, please?
Oh.
Yes.
I would like to nominate Dr. Emily Weisberg for Vice President of the Board.
Can I get a second for that, please?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, Dr. Weisberg. 3, clerk. I would like to nominate Ms. Kano to be our clerk. Can I get a
second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Congratulations to our new president, vice president, and clerk. Now I'm going to go.
Yeah.
No, wait. No. You can go there or go there. No, you don't have to move.
I don't know.
Get it together, team. Oh,
thanks for moving our nameplates. How dare you?
I'm sorry. Don't hit me. Yeah, I probably.
I have short remarks, I believe.
These are yours.
Oh, I thank you.
Don't look at me.
I know. I'm waiting for everyone to get settled, and then I want to move on. As we are getting settled, a point of personal privilege. Yes, please. I would like the script. Thank you. That might help me. Can we all practice saying my name correctly? Because Dr. Agakanian gets it right because he speaks Farsi. So it is Panzer Kamkar. Calm, like I'm very calm. At all times.
It's a Kamkar, don't I?
Yeah, it's not Kamkar.
It's Kamkar.
And the Farsi speakers know that it would really bother my in-laws to know that people say Kamkar because Kamkar means doesn't work. And Kamkar means works very hard. So, yes. Calm, like Kamkar.
You're wrong.
Yes. I say Kano.
Yeah, not you, but.
Okay. And it's also Kano. And our new mayor of the city is Tamala Takahashi, not Tamala, guys. Not Tamala like Kamala. It's Tamala Takahashi. Mayor Tamala Takahashi. Anyway, now that we've gotten everyone's names out of the way. I was mentioning city council. I went to the reorganization meeting, and I was struck by a line in the dedication that they did that he was wishing public servants well in the difficult but hopeful work of public service. And it stuck with me for the last 4 days. This work is very difficult, but it is very hopeful. And, we joke about the definition of insanity as doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And the definition of hope might be showing up every day and giving it your all, not knowing whether you'll see results, not being able to tell people what you're doing or how you're doing it, but doing it anyway because you care. And that's where educators and this board live much of the time. So we're not always going to see results immediately, and that's where we've been. Figuring out the next step in front of us and trying to make sure it's the right one. I know that everyone on this dais does this work because we care. We care about our students, this district, and this community. It is difficult, but hopeful work. Despite my generally optimistic viewpoint, it is very easy for me to get mired in the difficult part and forget the hopeful part. So it meant a lot to me to hear that. So I want to name that explicitly, that hope is why we do this. And I've said kind of every year as we've chosen a board president, going back to my very first vote on this board, that it's not a figurehead position, right? It's a job that's not about just going to ceremonies or handing out diplomas or running the meetings or even agenda review. It's leading this team as a team. It's listening to all the perspectives, both from this board and from staff. It's building trust, and it's taking responsibility for how we function together. I take really seriously the idea that the board president and the superintendent must partner deeply and build a lot of trust. Dr. Macias and I are still building that trust, and that's okay. That work really matters, and I'm committed to it. My focus this year is on getting things right. So that means leaving behind systems and written processes and clarity. It means completing some of the work that we've started. Something like documenting a conflict of interest policy that we've started. It means developing a governance handbook that we've started, so we're not constantly hunting through multiple policies to understand how we operate. Wouldn't that be fun? It means reviewing our board policies because, for example, we are technically supposed to end meetings at 10:30. Yeah. Yeah, 10:30. It also means sorting out the big stuff and the small stuff. So I mentioned earlier we had a problem with our board software and couldn't get the agenda posted. And it feels small, but it's big because if we don't post it on time, we have a big problem, right? And so the solution was simple. We post the agenda on time, even if it means using a different format, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's not quite exactly how we want it to be, but it means we communicate clearly with the community about what's happening, when the attachments are going to be available, how we move forward, right? And so I want us to get the big stuff right. I want us to get the small stuff right. And that's a tall order, I know. But we have to sweat the small stuff. We got to sweat typos and clarity and accuracy. I know we don't want surprises up here. But we can't lose sight of the big stuff like goal setting and governance and giving direction. I also want to make sure that we are prepared for transition. So a lot has happened in the last year, and a lot's going to change by this time next year. We're going to have a robust community process to discuss district leadership, and we'll have a democratic process to fill 2 trustee seats. And that's just about who sits on this side of the partition. You know, I'm a former chief of staff. And what that means is that I really like meetings. Like, meetings are what I like. It's really annoying. But I know how to facilitate meetings and prepare for meetings and give feedback and hold people accountable. But these meetings are for the Board of Education to conduct its business. And so I have really high expectations for the behavior, for my own behavior, for our behavior, and for the public. And for us to set an example for what it means to be members of a society and treat people with respect. But that also means that, like, we may need to have conversations before we start public comment about, we're going to make sure that we're respectful. It may mean that I may need to gently redirect us to make sure that we're not talking about things that aren't on the agenda. And I'm going to ask for some grace in that, because I want to make sure that we're tightening that piece up a bit. I still have a lot to learn, and there have been times I've made mistakes, many times. The areas where I need help from this board and from the public, first, while I ask a lot of questions, I'm not a natural skeptic. I will try to switch out my best intentions hat with my skeptic hat with some regularity, but I expect you all to hold me accountable to that. I also have a lot to learn about our history and our very hyper-local politics. I have lived in Burbank for 7 years, which is a blink in Burbank time, and I'm still learning who doesn't get along. Of course, I'm still willing to say what needs to be said, but it helps to know who I'll make mad and why. I want to end tonight by thanking my wonderful family. It says for being here tonight, but they're not here tonight because my daughter has flu and my husband is sick, and it turns out a 6-year-old can't come to a board meeting at 8:21 by himself. But they might be at home, but it's past their bedtime at this point. So thanks, guys. Hi. Hi, Jack. Hi, Margot. Hi, Sean. But they've really held down the fort for the past 3 years. You know, my husband, as I tell our student members every year, was ASB president at San Francisco Unified, so he understands what this looks like a little bit, but you know, he's had to figure out every other Thursday night, including the time that I signed our daughter up for a Girl Scout troop that also met every other Thursday night. She didn't stay on for more than a year. And I think everyone should expect that my children especially will be involved in a lot more community events going forward, so you might as well get used to seeing them and answering their many questions. They've enjoyed college and career fairs and back to school nights because they really love free stuff. They've enjoyed music performances and athletics, and they've learned that PTA has the best snacks, so everybody better step it up. But they're really only beginning to understand why anyone who knows me doesn't refer to me as someone's mom, or why I know anyone who isn't also to them someone's mom or dad. And while I think it's bananas that our pictures are in every school office, like we're the Shaw or something, they very much are like proudly point out our pictures to their friends when they go to on their many trips to the nurse, and just like I show them pictures to my friends, pictures of them to my friends. So it's going to be a weird year, but now that I know that the meetings can only be extended once past 10:30, hopefully the meetings won't go back too late. So I believe that in the next year we can continue the difficult but hopeful work of putting this district on the right path. I know we will celebrate the incredible work happening in our schools by our principals, by our staff, by our teachers, and I'm looking forward to working alongside this board and alongside our district team. So let's get going. All right, guys. All right, so let's move on then to new and unfinished business. 13A, approval of a memorandum of understanding between Burbank Unified School District and the Los Angeles County of Education to provide a satellite campus for the Beginning Teachers Program. Dr. Macias?
Yes, thank you. This is an MOU with our County Office of Education. This will help our local Burbank Unified employees complete the intern program and avoid having to travel a great distance. Key factors here, we will be providing space, technology access, but we do have to have a minimum of 15 intern individuals to fulfill this MOU.
So moved.
Okay. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Can I just ask, tell me why this one was not on consent calendar since it's a $0 item?
That was an oversight.
Okay, not a problem. I think it's great that we have this. So if we want to put it on new business to kind of champion it and celebrate it, that's also great. But
Yeah, we erred because just to be more cautious with a relationship with LACO.
sounds good. We have a motion from Dr. Agakanian and a second from Dr. Weisberg, or was that Olson?
Nope.
Member Olson?
Dr.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 13B was pulled. 13C, approval of notice of completion, best contracting services, summer roofing project, John Burroughs High School, Measure ABC Bond Fund. Dr. Macias.
Oh, good.
Yes, the next series of new and unfinished business items are just notices of completions or deductive change orders. And a lot of these are deductive change orders in the right direction that we want to see, net savings that go back into our bond pool. Allotment of pool, money, not just pool.
Okay, can I have a motion? And a
So
second?
moved.
Okay, any discussion?
Not for these.
Dr. Macias, I did have a question on this one, which was just that some of them have a kind of report on the notice of completion and some of them don't. Is the difference there just which contractor completed the work?
That I will have to work with our team to ascertain that information. But the more information that we have, we want to make sure that we include it in any item moving forward.
Great, thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, motion made by Dr. Agakanian, second by Clerk Kano, excuse me. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right. 13D, approval of deductive change order number 1, best contracting services, summer roofing project, John Burroughs High School, Measure ABC Bond Fund. Can I have a motion in a second?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
None here.
Not on the decreasing price. Kano says, yes. A deductive change order is always good to see. All right. The motion was made by Dr. Agakanian and seconded by Vice President Weisberg. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries as presented. 13E, approval of deductive change order number 1, best contracting services, summer roofing project, Thomas Jefferson Elementary School. Sorry, Ms. Quiterio, I'm seeing on the script that does someone need to read the resolution? Oh, okay, got it. Sorry, Thomas Jefferson Elementary School Measure ABC Bond Fund. So this is 13E. May I have a motion in a second?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
Okay. Motion made by Dr. Agakanian, seconded by Vice President Weisberg. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 13F, approval of notice of completion, best contracting services, summer roofing project, Thomas Jefferson Elementary School Measure ABC Bond Fund. I have a motion and a second.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? All right.
May I just add real
Yeah,
quick? 'Cause
absolutely.
On all these items, there is a 5-year workmanship warranty. So I just want to make sure the public knows about that, that's part of every contract that we have approved, and it's part of the completion notice as well.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Macias, for the clarification. All right. The motion's been made by Dr. Iaconian, seconded by Vice President Weisberg. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 13G, approval of deductive change order number 1, Best Contracting Services, Summer Roofing Project, Joaquin Miller Elementary School, Measure ABC Bond Fund.
Second.
Any discussion?
I just want to thank the city for agreeing to pay for half of it, which I think is great as part of our joint use agreement. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Any other discussion?
No, ma'am.
Thank you for bringing that up, though. I noticed that. It's great.
It is.
And that is not coming out of our joint use dollars. That is coming out directly from the city's funds, correct?
That's how I read it.
Correct.
Thank you. All right, motion was made by Dr. Iaconian, seconded by Vice President Weisberg. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 13H, approval of notice of completion, Best Contracting Services, Summer Roofing Project, Joaquin Miller Elementary School, Measure ABC Bond Fund. May I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Make sure I'm in the right place. This is just the notice of completion?
Mhm.
Okay, great. Motion's been made by Dr. Iaconian, seconded by Vice President Weisberg. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. 13I, approval of deductive change order number 1, Best Contracting Services, Summer Roofing Project, Luther Middle School, Measure ABC Bond Fund. May I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
I know. We did, I know we had talked about, you brought this up at the last meeting. We had initially pulled all of these out because they're ABC bond funds. I think it's worth having a conversation at some point about whether or not these things can be combined again. And maybe, in the report, they can be individualized, but that we don't have to go through each one individually. I'm not sure when we're going to feel comfortable doing that, but I do think it starts to make more sense now. So I just wanted to
I think
back up what you said last week about that.
I think during agenda review in January, we can review some past versions of a facility report. And I think what would be great is during reports to the board, we would essentially receive a facility report that would say, these are the items that you're going to see in either new business or consent agenda, and these are the ones you're getting notices of completion on. These are the ones you're getting deductive change orders on, so that we could get one comprehensive facilities report up front. And then we could put the ones that are these notices of completion, deductive change orders like this into consent. But I know why we did it this way, and I still think it's important because we don't have that process set up yet. Anyway, the motion was made by Dr. Iaconian, seconded by Vice President Weisberg. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0 with Dr. Iaconian absent. 13J, approval of notice of completion, Best Contracting Services, Summer Roofing Project, Luther Middle School, Measure ABC Bond Fund. May I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Do we have, not about the specific item, but do we have, Dr. Macias, I know we spoke briefly before the meeting about there being that priority list. Do we have anywhere a list that sort of outlines where we are with each of the roofing projects that we can either put online for people to see, and maybe a little bit of an explanation as to why we're doing the roofs at the time in which we're doing them? I just think people have expressed interest. SFOC committee has expressed, that's redundant. The SFOC has expressed it. I think if we have it, we should share it, and if we don't have it, we should create it.
Yeah, we actually just had a wonderful bond subcommittee meeting discussing that key communication piece, the website. We're going to do our best to overhaul that and message all that out and have a very comprehensive tab on that page. And the project list will be there, timelines, everything. We're going to do our best to do that.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Any other discussion on this item? Okay, it's been moved by Board Member Olson, seconded by Vice President Weisberg. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. All right, 13K, approval of school sites, school site 2526, school plans for student achievement. I see Dr. Anders, or do you want to introduce
I'd like to introduce
Anders?
Dr. Anders to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Knappe.
Took the lead on the school plans for the 25-26 school year. Dr. Anders.
Sure. This is a new wrinkle for me, so I want to pay homage and thank you to Dr. Knappe for tutoring me and putting me in a good place to succeed with our sites being well prepared and informed on the process. The school plans for student achievement are basically a site LCAP for them to address student needs, create goals based on those needs, and then monitor their effectiveness in reaching their goals. It also serves as a compliance piece for our state and federal funds that are specific resources and have to be spent on specific students and programs, specifically Title I and Title III. That's what you'll see in a lot of our school plans. So they go through a process of doing that with their school site council. That's their local educational partner input on how to spend those funds and meet the needs of their school. They come to us to approve. We review them to make sure that their budgets are correct and that they're identifying actions that are going to be compliant with the requirements for those different state and federal fund expenditures. And then they come to you guys for final approval. If we do identify any issues or we have to make adjustments, we can bring them back to do a revised plan. But today is we're right up against making sure that they're approved for this year so that they can fulfill those plans.
Can I get a motion and a second, then we'll do a
So
discussion.
moved.
Second.
All right, discussion.
I just wondered if this could be, or maybe not, a place to put our DEI teacher leader and site leader information as part of the individual, because one of the things that we've been asking for is that site by site. I wonder if this is sort of a natural place for it to live. I do not know if it's the appropriate place, but thought it was worth asking.
That's a great question. I believe some sites do have that as a goal. So that could be something that all sites incorporate.
Yeah.
It's not a requirement, but there are things you can include in this plan that aren't required, just like we do with LCAP.
If it belongs somewhere else, that's also fine. It just seemed like maybe a natural sort of like resting place.
A good piece for them to be able to work with their parent and school site council to be informed of the work they're doing and give input. Yep.
On a larger scale, I have dreams of complete.
Dreams.
Oh,
There's got to be connection between board goals, district goals, our LCAP, and our single plans, school plans. I know they changed it.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's part of the change that we all had to undertake as well too. But that's where we're going to be very centralized in approach. That's the collaboration, the talking. Every plan will have their own nuanced way of addressing things that they're work with their school site councils, but that's the grand vision for this district and where we need to be. A great takeaway from my time at Glendale Unified. They do a good job with that.
I'd like to kind of piggyback off of that, because that was the thing that, as I was going through them, they individually just kind of sing the different schools' visions and the things that they're doing, and I loved that. But when I was looking at this, the first thing I thought was, where's the rubric? Like, how are these attached to something? And again, as we brought up, seeing those like 2022 to 2023 goals, I just like want to emphasize to the public that it's like very normal for a district to have like 5-year goals or longer span goals. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here. I know that's what Dr. Macias said. Dr. Macias said is what we're all going to try and achieve in the future, which is a set of goals that we can attach metrics to and that we can all be unified behind. Yeah, I just have to bring up that it just was this was another key moment of realizing how important that is, because if we're all marching to different beats, we're not moving forward together. And I just kind of felt that in reviewing this. And the only other thing is I would just ask for next year that, it looks like everyone did such an incredible job doing every step of the way what they need to do to get it to this moment. But with it being the last board meeting of the year, if we did have big things, we're kind of to the end of the wire. It would be really cool if next year we could schedule so this was a week or a board meeting or two in advance, so that we weren't coming up into ruin it. And I just never want to impede on the school sites doing what they need to do to get into next year. Yeah. But those were the only two things that I wanted to bring up, because I just keep craving this internal compass for all of us that just doesn't exist right now. And I know we need to prioritize it, but it just feels, when I'm looking at this, like, it's so easy to see how it bleeds into things like accountability and how we all measure ourselves. I know one of the things that I did as a leader in my previous company, it's like you look at your job description goals and you look at the company's core mission and values. And if we don't have updating, moving, living core values here, then we're just not, it's not the full suite of accountability. So again, I know we're all on the same wavelength with that, but this just seemed to be something that really brought it to attention.
Part of the challenge that we have is the release of state data. We're getting it November 1, December 1, and it trickles in. And so we upload, I shouldn't say we, Document Tracking Services uploads that data into school plans, and that's across the state because that's the primary template for most school districts in the state. But like I said, the dashboard data, the CSD, the CASP data, the LPAC data, everything is just released so late. And if we could have data dumps earlier in the year, and maybe they can even do testing earlier in the year, like in some other states. They do it in March, and then, schools have it by July 1. Well,
yes, but aren't there other, because we invest in individual different types of formative assessments that we could use, because I completely agree. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was my business too, waiting for districts to see their big data so that we knew where the funding was going to be. But a lot of times I would see, districts react to that differently by just being like, look, the state data is going to come when it's going to come, but we're going to use X, Y, and Z. So I completely resonate with that for sure too.
And we can still make adjustments. They just have to have a plan approved by today. So if we want to look at that. Hot off the press too, that's incorporated into these plans is CSI, ATSI, or TSI, which is technical assistance. That's identified by the state, and proud to announce that Burbank Unified has no groups in that status across the board at all of our schools and sites. So that's a piece that's incorporated into these plans, and we're in really good standing there. So good.
So we mentioned the data piece of this. I know school site councils aren't usually selected until September. Mm-hmm. What's the timeline for when these get developed then? So walk us through kind of what this actually looks like at a school site.
So create the school site council, mm-hmm. start reviewing data from last year, and usually they get a head start because I've provided our own data based off of, they release files, but they don't publish it until mid-fall. But our sites usually have our own data that way. Look at that, evaluate all of their expenditures from last year. So we create a document for them to look at everything, all their goals, all their expenditures, and rate, are they making progress? Is it effective or not? And then they will have a more final budget mid-September, October, And then that's when they can have the meat of their conversation with their school site council in October to November, and then finalize December. Yeah, and then part of that is, like Dr. Knafick was saying, using the most current data that's released by the state for this year's plan.
Part of the other challenge with school site council configuration is that we always have like new families join in August. And so let's say we configured a school site council in April or May the previous year. So the new incoming families wouldn't have any kind of say-so for a year, let's say. So that's a trade-off. But in some school districts, they do that. April, May, school site council configuration. Some school districts wait until the beginning of the school year, August, September, and then configure.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other discussion on this item? Okay. I have a motion from Dr. Agakanian, a second from Dr. Weisberg. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. All right, we'll move to 13L. Approval of consultant agreement with Jason Hasty, Administrative Services. Dr. Macias.
Yes, so in light of our move by Dr. Abdelhamid and the vacancy that we have in that office, and that position is being flown right now, and we will miss Miriam greatly. I would like to put forward a consultant agreement with Dr. Jason Hasty, who came heavily recommended by very reliable resources from friends at our County Office of Education, and by extension through my network of those in the AXA world that I'm networked with as well. So he would be in the role essentially of business services as an assistant superintendent, so to speak, but in the consultant role.
All right, can I do a motion a second, and then we'll move to discussion? Okay, Dr. Agakanian. Can I get a second? Thank you. Clerk Gano. Okay, discussion. Board Member Weisberg, Vice President Weisberg.
A couple of just quick clarifying questions. Why is this why is the contract not under his name, but is under his consultant group name?
It's under an LLC.
It's under his LLC, correct. And I'm ask that question again, please.
I'm just, for me, I wonder, we're all a little bit like, about LLCs. Why would this not be just a direct contract with him as opposed to through his, what looks to be like his consultant firm?
Correct. That is the consultant's choice. That's the entering in the contract that he wants to commit to through Burbank Unified.
Dr. Agakanian.
So since we're hiring him as a consultant only.
Right.
A lot of them use their LLC. I use my LLC when I'm consulting.
Okay.
So most recently, we did that with one of our athletic trainers specifically. He chose to be.
I remember that.
Correct.
I remember that. Just a couple of other quick follow-ups, which is, how many other candidates did you speak with, and how did we arrive at the not to exceed 145,000?
I tried to do the best I could in limited availability of individuals, given the timing of the school year. I would say 4 other individuals came to my attention, so that answers that. In terms of the rate, that is pretty much what I was able to ascertain or gather through other resources in terms of availability and demand and basic market rate at this point.
So if the contract is from January 5th through June 30th, is it not a set rate, or is it going to be like if we have a not to exceed 145,000? Is that just going to? Have we created with him like these are how many hours you're going to be?
Yeah. So because he is essentially going to act as a contracted employee, there's going to be expectation to be here at board meetings. A work day is going to be pretty extensive. The accountability piece in terms of who he reports to, that'll be me, and who, for the time being, our executive assistant in the superintendent's office. There will be days, just like today, it'll be a long day. It'll be a 12, 14-hour day. So hopefully that answered. He's going to be assuming the role of a contracted employee in terms of that sense.
I'm not, yeah, I wasn't clear. I just mean, why is it not like a flat rate? Because we know when he's starting and we know when he's stopping. And he, I think, is taking on the job with the understanding there are going to be days where he's here till forever o'clock, and then there are going to be days where he works a normal work way. I'm just wondering whether it could be a fluctuation if it's less cool, but like as opposed to saying we're going to pay him this amount of money because we know how long he's going to be with us.
Right. I quite honestly, to answer that question, I didn't explore that. I didn't have that as a possibility.
Or am I an insane
I
person?
don't know that we know how long he is going to be with us,
It-
right?
The position, again, in
we know that
context, the
it-
position's being flown.
Right. The position for Assistant Superintendent of Business Services is being flown. And my understanding, Dr. Macias, is that when we fill that position, Dr. Hasty would no longer work for us.
Correct. Which, quite honestly, I hope he applies. I mean, he's
I was
qualified to be an
purely
applicant.
working from the dates in the recommendation.
Right. So,
that's
I think
helpful.
the date ends June 30th so that this does not go into the following fiscal. So it's just a not to go into the following fiscal.
And for clarity, sorry to interrupt, it is challenging to be posting a job of this nature and to field quality candidates. And we obviously want to make a very good decision, be wise, and not settle, given the other landscape in operations that we're dealing with. So if we have to repost a position, we're going to repost a position. So that is why we have to extend it through June, just in case.
Perfect. Thank you.
Dr. Agakanian? And then Ms. Cano, sorry.
Item 8, termination, it says upon the mutual agreement of parties here to, is there a timeline? Is there a notice timeline? So we want to terminate, is it, like, let's say it starts tomorrow and the day after, so we're not happy, we can terminate him? Because it doesn't give you a timeline.
No, I'm with you on that. I wanted to make sure that it was, that we maybe add more language in here that's clear that upon the hiring of somebody else, what is the expectation for severing this
But
contract?
also, like, usually notice, like 10-day notice for termination.
Yeah.
There's nothing, it's too broad. You can interpret this in any way.
Let's Dr. Macias answer.
As a consultant, they can be terminated anytime. They're not employees.
Well,
Okay.
I mean,
I will put it in there.
there's nothing in here that says that. However, are we providing, I don't know, has that been made clear to him to the point that we would
Well, can we
not
just
want to
add
add
it?
it?
A very simple added language.
Yeah, I was just going to point out that number 8 does say this agreement may be terminated at any time.
Based on the
mutual agreement.
Yeah,
I
but
do
based
understand
on
the
a
mutual.
agreement.
This
Mutual is a
agreement may
very.
also be terminated immediately by the district should the consultant breach this agreement
Oh,
and fail to perform
yes,
required
okay.
services in a satisfactory manner.
Yes. So
I think
Dr.
it's fine.
Weisberg just read the second part of number 8, which said, this agreement may also be terminated immediately by the district should the consultant breach this agreement or fail to perform the required services in a satisfactory manner. Does that help you, Dr. Agakanian, Board Member Olson?
It's better.
Okay. Ms. Cano, you had a question about?
I did the math.
Okay. So I had a question about the day rate, but I wanted to go back to Dr. Weisberg's question about how we arrived, or how it was arrived at. I actually don't know how it was arrived at, but I will say that looking at Dr. Hasty's current compensation at Beverly Hills Unified, this is roughly the same. I know you mentioned, Dr. Macias, that that the days may be long or they may be regular. They will probably not be short. He will be reporting to you. Can you just kind of talk through, is he going to be invoicing you by the day? I think maybe we're all a little bit caught up in the day structure here,
Right.
but it does allow us a lot of flexibility if we hire someone and then we say, okay, you're only going through X amount a day. But yeah, it's just not something that I've seen before, but maybe that's
Right. So
Just something I've not seen.
Dr. Hasty and I are having a very lengthy discussion on Monday. We're going to meet, and if there's anything that I need to extract information quite based on questions from you, I can set that up with it embedded in my meeting.
Okay, but we do expect for him to be on site for a normal workday for that $1,300.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And just again, a side note, he's been having lengthy discussions with Dr. Abdelhamid for the transition, as well aware of the work that's ahead of him. That's all been set up.
Yep. Dr. Agakanian?
These crackers.
Yeah, no.
So is it going to be, so evaluation-wise, or is it, because when consult says, well, we're going to work long hours, it's usually project-driven, where like you tell them you have 3 weeks to, or is it going to be reporting on daily basis, weekly? Is it project-driven, and who is he going to report to? I'm just curious because.
He does have a scope of work in the document.
Yeah, but there's no timelines on scope of work.
But he's with us because this isn't, I think we're conflating two things. Like, he's being hired as a consultant, but he's essentially stepping in to fill this role until either he gets hired permanently or somebody gets hired permanently. So I don't think we need, the scope of work is in here. Dr. Macias already told us about 5 minutes ago that he would be reporting to Dr. Macias. Sounds like once he has his meeting with Dr. Hasty, we will have a clearer sense of the day-to-day, and I'm sure that we can also ask Dr. Macias to give us, some sort of an overview, but
He also has milestones.
yeah, I mean, they're in here. If you read the
I'm just curious when consultants come in not as a district employee, but hired as.
Microphone, please.
Yeah, it's to me, it's just, I want to clarify, because sometimes consultants, they come and say, well, I'm just a consultant, I'm not an employee. Then they can say, well, I'll report to you project-driven job, because this is kind of, he's doing both.
I think that's a great point. I think that's also direction that we can give to Dr. Macias, that based on the deliverables and the milestones that are in this statement of work, that's not what we should be hearing from this. And, I said earlier, like, I want to make sure I'm keeping my skeptic hat on a lot, and I think we all have that on based on our previous experience with some contractor contracts, right? Yes. And so that I don't want to have Dr. Hasty watch this later and think this is about him, because it's not. I think we just all have our skeptic hats on a little bit here. But I understand where you're coming from, Dr. Agakanian. I think I think these milestones make a lot of sense, because and you've been here for 10 years, you've seen the work that a CBO has to do in terms of delivering specific items at a board, especially at the board level, right? Like, we're going to have direct vision into what this person is doing, and whether they're doing it on time. Mike, please.
Further down here, so I have to know. No, I just want to make sure that everyone is clear on this. You get it. Just people watching too. So, because he's going to be doing all this work, but he's also coming at consult. Sometimes people hear the word consultant and they kind of go, well,
I think we should think of him as a contractor then, or a contracted employee.
There you go.
Whatever
better wording
feels better.
Well, and also the attached document does give a really clear sense of scope of work. So hopefully people watching will also have read it.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you, Dr. Hasty's been texting me. He's anxious to get ready to work. He knows the work ahead of him. He knows that we're in a fiscal stabilization plan, deficit spending. He's very well aware of our current fiscal situation. He knows what to do.
Fantastic. All right, we have a motion and a second, right?
We do.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We do.
I'm sorry.
In fact, Dr. Agakanian, we have a motion from Dr. Agakanian and a second
I'm sorry.
Clerk
Give me
Kano.
1 meeting, half a meeting to adjust.
It's okay. You're just fine. So we have a motion from Dr. Agakanian and a second from Clerk Kano.
What?
We have one more piece of discussion. Can you ask the question on the mic, please?
On invoice approver, it says Dr. John Macias. Is that, are you really John?
Yes, that was bad clerical error.
Oh, okay. So
No other way to play it.
At least it's not Messiah.
Okay, so that is a great, so Dr. Iconian, would you mind amending your motion to amend the invoice approver on the statement of work to Dr. Oscar Macias?
I make a motion to be
You
amended.
can just say so moved, too.
Oh,
Say so.
so moved.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Okay. Moved as amended by Dr. Agakanian, seconded by Clerk Kano. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. We look forward to working with you, Dr. Hasty. Whew. All right, 13M, approval of consultant agreement with the Volition Group to review, assess health benefits options. Dr. Macias.
Yes, I want to start by echoing what was said earlier by our BTA president, Sarah Schwartz, and I had a meeting with Sarah and Alex Moore, who represents CTA, a couple months ago, and I did bring up this topic because I have obviously connections with Glendale Unified and Dr. Kyle Bruick, their assistant sup of HR, and learned of their net savings of about $6.2 million, and which was wild. Like how, and so I had a conversation with Dr. Bruick, had conversations with Alex and Sarah, and said, you know what, this is the time to do it. We need to explore. So again, in quick summary, and it was shared, I'm going to echo what Sarah said earlier. We have an opportunity to explore to see if we can get a better package for our employees. Now is the time. I can tell you that obviously I've had conversations with BTA, with BASA, and CSEA, and they're aware of this opportunity that we can put forward.
Great, thank you. Can I get a motion in a second, please?
So moved.
I'll second. Sorry, Bridget.
Can we get some discussion, please?
I'm just excited that we're looking into it.
Yep.
Thank
Second.
you.
I wish it
Board
was
Member
cheaper,
Olson.
but I'm also really excited. This is the time.
I do want to add just a little bit. Maybe I'm poking, but I feel like poking tonight. When I had my discussion with Alex and Sarah, and there was a sense of frustration. They're like, you want to do this? We've been trying this for the last 2 or 3 years with the previous leadership. So that is something that I want to point out that, again, in light of just circumstances, this is something that we need to explore. If there is a possibility of savings for our employees / district, we should be looking at it, not just in this area, but in all facets of our operations.
I do want to clarify a little bit because I want to set our expectations appropriately, that the $6.2 million that Glendale saved, they are much bigger than us, and they also pay more for their employee benefits, or a larger proportion. So
Correct.
I don't know that we should expect to save that kind of amount or even that kind of percentage, but we should expect for, if this is successful, right, if we get responses to RFPs and complete the process, we should expect to see this to be at least cost neutral in the first year, and then to see cost savings past that. This should save the district money. This should save employees money while keeping services at least the same or better. The other piece that I really like the way this is structured is that it's phased. And so if for whatever reason, actually similar to the ESS contract we're going to talk about, if for whatever reason we're looking at it and it's not going in the direction we think it should be going, we can say this is not working for us, right? And so when we complete that first phase, I think it would be helpful to get I don't know if it's just a report back to the board. It doesn't necessarily need to be in a board meeting, but just to help us understand where we're at after that first phase.
Correct. The president and founder, Matt Bittner, and I have already established a relationship, communication, and if this is approved, we're ready to have a meeting as early as next week.
Great. Thank you. All right. Any other discussion? It's been moved by Dr. Arcanian, seconded by Board Member Olson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. We have moved acceptance of gifts, so we're going to go to 13O, approval of salary, rate, and title for the executive assistant to the Board of Education and superintendent. May I have a motion and a second first? Can I have a second?
Second.
All right. Can I have discussion?
I Just a point of clarification. I think I am reading this correctly. So, hold on. Let me find it. Give me a second. I had it in the wrong thing. Oh, no. Nope. Oh, sweet sassy molassy. Okay. I'll just open it again. So this removes the PIO piece.
Correct.
Correct?
Correct.
And are we not... I mean, I think what we recognize and what this report states is that that's not a feasible thing for one person to do, both of those things at once. So is there any talk about hiring a separate PIO? I know budgetarily that's not high on our list, but I actually do think it's very important. Is that something that we're carving out, or is it just something that for the timing? I mean, could we even just have someone part-time for them? Like, I don't really know what's capable.
I have ideas.
Great.
So one is that I, in the current position, have actively taken a role in public communication. So that's one aspect. But in the short term, we're going to be reviewing our district organizational chart / in our fiscal stabilization plan, there was no BOSS-related cuts, either at the site level or at the district level. So that's going to be part of the discussion and suggestions that I have moving forward, and that could be a possibility of kind of restructuring and placing a PIO, possibly part-time, full-time. It all depends. We got to look.
Thank you. That was my question.
Other discussion?
There's also, I also want us to, the PIO thing we've been going back and forth on for a long time. If this is not working, there is always opportunities. Like I have a PIO at my work, but it's part-time. It's a contractor. It's an independent contractor. There are people out there who will be willing to do this also for 10 hours a week if necessary, if needed. I'm just saying it because and that would save us a lot of money. We don't, the health benefit, nothing. It's just an independent contractor, employee at will, and boom. And we can explore that too. Because we've been going back and forth on it. I know you're talking about it. But right now, 10 hours even for me, just to have someone out there doing this.
Dr. Akanian, do you have a job description or a scope of work for that person that you could share with Dr. Macias?
Sure, I can send it to you.
Great. Send it to Dr. Macias.
Send it to you.
Please.
Thank you. Sorry, I have to adjust. I'm just, here now. Come closer to you.
And to be clear, because I don't know that it's, so why is this item coming to us right now, Dr. Macias? No? Okay. Got it. Okay, just making sure. All right. Any other discussion?
No.
All right. We have a motion from Dr. Akanian and a second from Vice President Weisberg. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. 13P, award of contract 2526-007, executive recruitment services.
So
David, is that why you're here? No.
Oh, you're here for that?
Oh, okay. So 13P is our award of contract with ESS. This is, let's do a motion a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Weisberg. Discussion?
Just
we talked about it a lot.
The contract itself, I don't know if you heard us talk about this last time, but one of the pieces of the RFP was to give the respondents a copy of the contract they would be asked to sign and asked if they had any things they would need to change or any red lines. ESS did not, so this is a version of the contract that the district prefers.
Great.
Okay. And the not to exceed amount is $34,900. I have already started working with Mike from ESS. We are going to be able to schedule our board study session for the 8th. So I've sent something to Ms. Quiterio to get that on the calendar, and they are going to get right to talking to education partners locally as well. So, any other discussion on the contract?
No, ma'am.
Nope, just a big thank you to David Gerhardt, our purchasing director, again, for
Yeah,
a
David.
monumental amount of work, and to everybody who read the RFPs.
David, why don't you come up so public can
That's
see your face? Come
not
on.
fair.
Come on, David.
Leave him alone.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David. Just a thank you.
Thank you, David. All right. This has been, the motion was made by Dr. Arakanian and seconded by Vice President Weisberg. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. All right, let's go back up to 13N, acceptance of gifts. Can I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved by Dr. Weisberg and seconded.
Enthusiastically.
Oh, sorry. It has been moved by Vice President Weisberg and seconded enthusiastically by Dr. Arakanian. Can I have, do we do the, okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Would anybody really love to read the gift report?
No.
Go right ahead. Dr. Weisberg, thank you. And do so with the appropriate enthusiasm and gratitude.
I always have the appropriate enthusiasm and gratitude.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much. Here we go. A big thank you to the Blackbaud Giving Foundation for their donation to be used as needed at Dolores Huerta Middle School. Thank you to Huerta ASB IMA for their generous donation to purchase IMA instruments at Huerta. Thank you to Red Chair Productions for their donation to the district to be used towards field trip transportation at Washington. Thank you to Dorian Photography, who wishes to donate a generous donation to be used for materials and supplies at Miller Elementary. Thank you to the fabulous fifth grade parents at Providencia for their donation to be used towards outdoor science school at Prov. Thank you to Providencia parents for their donation to be used for lost books at Providencia Elementary. That's sad. Thank you to Ms. Brooke Waldrop who for her donation to be used towards student supervision before school at Emerson Elementary. Thank you to Stevenson parents for their generous donation to be used for a marquee for birthday wishes and messages at Stevenson Elementary. Thank you to the Roosevelt PTA for their donation to be used towards auditorium chair improvement at Roosevelt Elementary. We will all appreciate that. Thank you to the Roosevelt PTA for their donation to the district to be used towards Family Engagement Night Story Explorers at Roosevelt Elementary. Thank you to American Charities for their donation to be used as needed at Jefferson Elementary. Thank you again to the Blackbaud Giving Fund for their donation to be used as needed at Jefferson. Thank you to the Jefferson PTA for their donation to be used to purchase Gaga Ball. Ooh, Gaga, that's so fun. For the playground at Thomas Jefferson Elementary. And finally, thank you to Jefferson PTA for their donation to be used for field trips for Jefferson.
Thank you, Dr. Weisberg. Great enthusiasm. We'll move on to consent agenda. Thank you, very good. Does anyone have anything to pull from consent agenda?
I don't have anything to pull, but I do have discussion.
Okay, well then, would anyone like to make a motion and a second to approve items 14A through 14H as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Discussion.
So, purchase order, because it's always my thing. This is actually not necessary. This isn't really about. This is actually more than likely a special education question. So, Dr. Macias, is it possible moving forward to have we have three fabulous directors here. It feels important to have all of our directors, especially when there are special education items, and it's would be helpful to me to have Ms. Nicholson here to answer some of these questions. But there are two things listed on here. One is on page 4, and the other is on page 7. Both are reimbursement to specialists. My question is, especially for the one on page 4, it's a reimbursement to psychologists for travel expenses, special education funds. And my question is, I assume this is part of a settlement. Are we legally obligated, though? Can we not hire qualified people locally instead of having to spend thousands of dollars for people to travel and pay for their expenses?
We reached out to the local school district in Utah to find someone to perform these assessments. They didn't have the capacity or the will to do it.
Okay.
Therefore, we.
Or the intestinal fortitude.
There you go.
But just to clarify, in general, we will always try to use local professionals.
Absolutely.
Great. So for both of those, that is my question for both of those. Has no will.
Only one district in Utah.
Okay. Other discussion on consent agenda items. I have one unless.
I think we have the same second one.
I want to talk about 14H, please. The contract for the structure at Miller Elementary School. I was surprised to see this one, though I know I did not come to the last Superintendent Facilities Committee because I'm no longer on that subcommittee. But was surprised to see this, surprised to see it going through restricted routine maintenance because it doesn't really seem to be maintenance. And just trying to understand how this kind of got to the top. Tell me more about this one. I don't want to make any sort of assumptions, but this raised flags for me.
So we wanted to make certain that that playground was ADA compliant. So we had some folks come out and do a survey of that playground equipment, and we found that there was some modifications that were needed. It's also related to a settlement too, to fix the materials. And therefore, if we had to close down that playground equipment, our TK students wouldn't have access to that for whatever length of time it would take to repair. Therefore, we had to hire someone to come out and fix it ASAP, and then students can use the materials, playground equipment.
So I believe we talked about this, Dr. Macias, at one of the previous superintendent bond subcommittee meetings. But we know that, like, Hart, for example, has been waiting for a new playground since the dawn of time. We know that our SEED students are struggling with the playground facilities that they have. So I think it'd be really helpful to get a breakdown of which playgrounds, triage-wise, where are we going next? Because obviously, we can't do them all at once. It takes time, but I think it'd be helpful for family and for the school sites to have a sense of like where they are in that list. Because I had the same sort of like, moment about this item.
Yes, and we already have visited the SEED program, made a site
You
visit.
have, thank you.
And the plan with the team is to do the same and then prioritize. But I want to make sure that our school communities that are in need of school playgrounds, they're not unnoticed.
Nope.
They are very much a distinct priority for us to address, and we will be addressing that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I just, especially the ADA compliance piece, I feel like if there is a complaint at Miller, and that is how we get new playgrounds, that is how we will get new playgrounds. And I did not realize that our restricted routine maintenance money could be used for this.
Is that only because there was the surveyor that came out?
Without complete clarity, but we'll get it. I
Okay.
believe it has to do with the damage that existed, and that covered the maintenance.
Yeah.
Got
portion
it.
to
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I could see it for the ground piece of it. Tell me about the time sensitivity on this piece. I just want to make sure that we're buttoned up on funding sources, if we need to be.
So the time sensitivity would be that students can't use the playground equipment or portions of that playground equipment without the repairs.
And when is
Therefore,
this
it's
work
pretty-
supposed to happen? Over the break?
That I am not positive about. Yeah, and Dr. Harris is not certain either. We can certainly look into it and inform the board.
We'll find out from
Yeah.
Mr. Maxwell.
I'm trying to see if it says in here. I didn't see it. How do my colleagues feel on this one? Are we okay to approve it as is, or do we want to pull it for January?
Do we have to?
Mike, please.
Since the last concern was brought forward, why don't we just pull it and bring it back in January?
I was going to say if the district staff can then evaluate, we can push this forward and then do an expense transfer
Okay.
if it's needed.
Okay, that's really helpful, Dr. Abdelhamid.
Yeah, why don't we do
Okay, then I can be fine approving this. Thank you.
that? All right.
All right, any other questions on consent? No. All right, we have a motion from Dr. Agakanian, a second from Vice President Weisberg, on consent agenda items 14A through 14H as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda passes unanimously. 15 reports from board members. Do any of my board members have reports? Hang on. Ms. Olson, Dr. Yeah, you would start. You still start, sorry.
No, that's fine. I just, in the spirit of the holidays, I wanted to share that in my daughter's classroom, we have a volunteer who facilitated an entire experience for our kids to meet Santa this evening, who came to Burbank to see us. And I just have to give a shout out to all of the volunteers of the classroom staff who have done so much to make this holiday season magical, because I know it's not just my classroom. I've just heard incredible things about what's been going on in different classrooms and the communities by volunteers. And so that was something I missed this evening, which I was sad about. But I was happy to share that out. But that's it. I just want to wish everybody a wonderful, wonderful holiday.
Thank you. Ms. Cano? Clerk Cano? No? Dr. Weisberg?
I changed my mind.
Sorry. Clerk Cano has
I just wanted to wish everybody a wonderful holiday and 2-week break, especially for all the teachers out there. I know we're coming off and then you basically start the holidays and then you're just got everybody home. But you know what? Just have a day or maybe a half a day of R&R. So happy holidays, everybody.
Dr. Weisberg?
No.
Okay. Nothing from Dr. Weisberg. Yes, thank you to our sites for making this last week both educational and enjoyable. I know it's hard the last week before the break when everybody is a little cuckoo and sick and ready to go on vacation and et cetera, et cetera. But at my children's school, you can hear Hanukkah songs sung in Spanish. So if that's not the beauty of our community, I don't know what is. I do want to adjourn tonight's meeting in memory of a number of losses that we had over the weekend for the victims in Bondi Beach in Australia and at Brown University and more locally the Reiner family, who, as Mr. Schlossman said, did a lot of things for very young children in California. So thank you very much to them, and I hope everyone has a healthy and restful holiday. Take care. See you in 2026.